But let's get it. Philo. Oh my gosh. There's already 1,000 people waiting? It's members only this time. All right. Well, welcome. Hello. And welcome to Philo. Very wild day. We had Trump comments. We actually got a lucky couple 100% on Trump saying, a very big deal. It wasn't about China. Everyone thought it would be. I said it wouldn't be about it. And then we heard about Canada trade deal, USMCA, and then even Trump saying this thing about, like, don't expect trade deals, even though you should expect a trade deal. And it's not about a trade deal. It's all about prices. But we are tweaking around now, and you just had a really good 10-year bond auction out of nowhere. So that's what we're reacting to. Scott Bessent helped us out in the morning. You didn't really get as many headlines as yesterday, but the reaction was a little better. But again, more cold water, and now just we had a lot of tension and good things, but we just slowed down dramatically in terms of trade developments, and now that gets people on edge. I'm expecting more negative articles coming out from what Trump said, but other than that, we'll see where we go from there, baby. We'll see where we go from there. Amen. Amen. So other than that, get ready for Philo. I'm going to get that set up. I got a good one for you. And yeah, and we made new changes to the chat today too, so no more plays. Please stop posting them. Read rule number 4, and then that's it, baby. That's it. You can't lie. I be losing. What do you mean you be losing, bro? If you're losing on options, stop trading options. That's why part of my new changes. Get a long term, bro. I'm telling you, on one of the worst years in history, I have thousands of people doing better than Wall Street, doing better than everybody, doing better than the rest of the world. So get a long term. And if the trades aren't working, we need to set a strict budget, and we got to get momentum. I'm not against trading, but these changes and what I talked about today, we have to build the foundation first. If we don't have a long-term foundation, if we don't have a discipline of budget and patience built around the long term, the trades are going to hurt you. And that's what I'm saying. But anybody who's came across here with a solid foundation, built the foundation first, the options have helped them. So we got to figure that out. And like, if you're not getting momentum, the trades have slowed down in the last couple of weeks. Pull it back, get some momentum, stick to a strict budget, and get ready for the easy ones, though. Because right now, the market's not throwing you easy ones. So that's kind of what we got to wait for now, too. But other than that, Chattadonia, I'm glad that you guys are here, man. So welcome to Philo. If it's your first one, I think you guys will enjoy it. I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown in a little bit, but let me go get my carbo and everything else, and we'll be good to go, baby.
You've been talking about waste, fraud, and abuse within the agency.
Let me send a
what
stream
exactly
alert.
Had been happening?
Well, we, for instance, recently criminally referred some North Koreans and Chinese for working inside of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. I mean, what are the Chinese and the North Koreans doing in these companies? That's just one example. I could give you other examples of contracts that we've done. The bureaucracy between FHFA, so the U.S. Federal Housing, which I oversee, and the companies. We're eliminating the unnecessary bureaucracy between the agency and the companies to get things going. I mean, I've closed out probably over 50. I've made 50 plus directives or closures of excessive paperwork, stuff even going back to Obama's time where they were just reporting on them for no reason. The amount of nonsense going on is truly staggering, and these are going to be great American icons once again.
I'm sorry, can you be a little more specific there? When you said that there were Chinese and North Koreans working for the agencies, do you mean non-U.S. citizens? What exactly?
Correct. Correct. There were non-citizens working who were posing as either real Americans or, in some cases, contractors. And we also recently uncovered some other things where some of the Indians were also working inside of the companies as well. So more to come on that. But I think we've referred 5 or 6 different people to the DOJ just in terms of North Koreans and Chinese working in the companies.
So when it comes to your initiative here to really take a look at, you're saying waste, fraud, and abuse within the agency, is the idea here to clean up the agencies to become private entities?
Well, ultimately, that would be a question for President Trump. President Trump's going to be, obviously, is the deal maker of the century. I mean, there's nobody who knows how to make a deal better than President Trump. So if and when he does that, we will be ready. We are getting ready for just being operationally efficient, not necessarily privatization. And that is really where our focus is right now. If and when something were to happen, our main focus would be to make sure that there was no disruption to the mortgage market and that there wouldn't be any upward pressure on rates.
So ultimately, when it comes to the efficiency plans, how much does it fall on you versus Doge efforts to tackle them?
Yeah, Doge has not been involved in Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. We would welcome them, frankly, because I think they're very bright people. But we are doing our own cost cutting, our own trimming of the fat, so to speak, and again, getting rid of some of this fraud. But again, we're really ready to focus and have been focusing, at least since I've been in office 8 weeks, on that operational efficiency side of things.
When you're looking at any potential issues across the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac programs, are you looking at multifamily lending programs specifically?
Yes, I'm very focused on multifamily lending programs. In particular, I was unsettled with some things that I found in multifamily when I first started. That was part of the reason that I did some of the changes that I made at the board level, including the chairmanship, was I felt like I needed to get involved and have the FHFA director be intimately involved in some of the multifamily stuff. And that was one big reason that we've been a little bit more hands-on, is to make sure that there's none of that nonsense going on. The good news is these are safe and sound businesses, but we're going to make them even safer and sounder.
What types of behavior are you looking into exactly when it comes to multifamily?
Well, there's been some things which we'll be releasing at some point where, people were underwriting certain loans and then flipping them either to friends or to colleagues and then re-underwriting them. So, it's mortgage fraud. We've had a big focus on mortgage fraud. We're going to keep focusing on mortgage fraud because we never want to have another '08 happen again. And under President Trump, we're not going to let that happen.
Now, a little earlier, you also said when it comes to the future of Fannie and Freddie, you are keeping your eye closely on mortgage rates. Of course, there's a lot of concern among a number of lawmakers that privatizing Fannie and Freddie could unleash higher rates. How could you ensure?
I forgot. Bill Pulte, that guy talking right now, he owns Pulte Homes, but I'm pretty sure he manages the FHA now, or he's doing one of the federal housing things. Houthi spokesperson denies group will stop attacking Red Sea ships. Will you stop attacking the ship? No. Did you guys see that Cartel member in his message to Trump? That was crazy. It was a CNN interview. I'll show you guys after, Philo. So we might as well get into it. But the Cartel said, respecto. Respecto. I'll show you that one. Yeah, I'll show you that clip. Oh, dude, it's crazy. But now you have to listen to good stuff first. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time for Philo, man. So I'm glad you're here, and I really do appreciate y'all, man, especially if you really want to listen to it. Maybe you're here not by design or choice, but you have a choice now. So here's the deal. I'm going to read the Bible today, and I'm going to talk about some things, and if you don't like it, that's fine. No one's trying to force it on you, just like the plays or anything else. Do whatever you want, bro. It's your life. Go live your life. No one really cares that much. So there's no need for an argument about religion because this is a moment just for that. And it's okay if you don't like it. That's fine. But I do ask that you don't get in the way of our work. And that being said, if it's breaking news on stocks and information, then we will address that and we could stop and do that. If it's just a random question and it's not pressing, we're going to look over it. And that way, everybody could have good workflow. You have a newswire up. I hope that helps with information. And then we just go from there and see what happens. But I do think there's some good things, man. And I like I'm saying, I've seen a lot of things over the years with Philo. I've even seen it with the long term. And even as of late, man, I've seen a lot of y'all unlock another gear, bro. And I'm excited for it. I think locking in discipline, high accountability, bro, focusing. I think it's already starting to pay off in many, many ways. So continue it and keep it up, man. And we have a long, long journey. And at the same time, too, you have a lot of opportunity. You have a lot of potential. It is on you to seize that right now and do not delay in taking control of your life and taking the right steps, and hopefully without anybody telling you. And yeah, man, and a lot of clarity, bro, is something there. I pray for all of you, man. Less confusion. Be clear in what you want. Don't confuse yourself. Don't entertain things that are adding to it. Obviously, you should have healthy doubt, and you should plan and have advisors, and you should be diligent, and you should prepare. You see, and if you do all of these things, that will eliminate confusion, and you don't have to rely on less reliable things that will confuse you. So I hope that truly does help, man. We've been talking about it, but even then, I got a very, very good one for you today. And I think it makes sense, bro, with a lot of other things, too. It's great how it works, but I'm going to start off with the new rule change, bro, because quite simply, man, it's time. I love it because Paul even says there's a time for baby food. You know that? There's a time for when you're young, bro, you could only eat the small stuff. You could only eat certain things, but when you get older, bro, you need different nutrition. So that's it, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm in all capacities, you guys. I hope you see the behavior, how I will even treat you. You guys have to. You're on your own. Do you understand? People will be here for you. People will have your back, but all of you are on your own. Do you understand? Oh my God, I thought but no, and this isn't a bad thing, bro. Just fly, bro, fly. You see what I'm saying? Fly. It's time to fly. That's it. You don't need somebody to remind you. You need somebody to hold you accountable. Oh, y'all don't feel me. Do you understand? You don't need me to tell you what you need to do, brother. You already have it. As a kid, only a child needs somebody to tell them what to do. That's it. You just got to be held accountable. That's all. As an adult, I think you're an adult. I think you guys deserve way more respect. And that's what this behavior will give you. That's what I'm saying, bro. I expect the highest out of everybody. And all of you should expect that out of your own too. And live in it. That's one of the best things you can do. But that's why I'm saying, bro, now whatever you put yourself around, you are going to get your results. And I say that because like we talked about in all these things, who you're surrounding yourself with, how you're giving yourself or taking away clarity. All of these, there's so many factors in life, but again now, there is a point where we have to find our own journey. And I hope you guys all do it, and I'm excited. And because I think some of you already done it. But it relates to something new. Because like I'm telling you right now, I realized this, and I looked at data, and that's why, 2 weeks ago, I asked you guys, I was like, do you guys want to change the whole play thing? Because I kept noticing stuff, and it came from a minority. It's not from a majority of the chats. You know that. A majority of the people who support, who donate, they're not flexing no plays. They're just paying me because they're grateful. So it's not about that, though. What it's really about, bro, is the culture, and I'm done with it. I don't have time anymore to monitor anybody. I don't think I have to go to your chat facts and see what you did. I don't care. Again, I will have plays. I will give them out how I see fit, but the real opportunity is the long term. And I don't want that to get clouded, but I said it earlier, man, and I need y'all to really, be honest. Have you ever been around gamblers and been like, this is fun? Because the gambling culture is the most toxic thing in the world, and I hate it. And even though I gamble myself, I don't think I'm not a gambler. I don't think I'm part of the culture. And I don't want to be a part of it, and I don't want any of it near me. Okay? That's why I'm doing this. That's why I asked you guys weeks ago. So don't think any of you are all forgiven. This isn't about one person. I will unban all of you. I love you. I really do. I mean it. I'm just saying, because I brought this up weeks ago. You're getting a red right now. Hold on. Pay attention, even as I'm ranting. It's because bonds, everything. That was cross asset. It's decent. I don't know. I don't have a headline yet. It's not. No, that's what I'm saying, though, because you guys want to blame some people messing it up. No, because I'm not blaming anybody. I brought this up to you weeks ago. You guys don't realize I've been looking at shit. I have data. I have data and I have AI. You guys know that. And I have me. I have my own brain. Amazing. You know that, right? So I could see where everything's coming from. So that's why I said when mother effers tell me, like in the beginning, they're like, oh, Ja, if you do this, I'm going to unsubscribe. Well, actually, you're not. You're going to unsubscribe if I make $1 million or six figures, because that's what's happened every time. Nobody unsubscribes when I change a rule. Never. They unsubscribe when we make money and do very well. That has been the most amount of subscribers I've ever lost. Again, you see the plays being posted. People are making money. They didn't post the play. They made money off of the information. And they're paying out of appreciation. Most of the, again, I think PNC, that's one guy I'm like, damn, I'll miss those plays. And even then, he would pay the plug. And like I'm saying, 9 out of every 10 Chads have a long term that are actually like, they were buying a membership before a Philo or anything. They already had a long term. They already had this. So literally, it's about 10, 15% of our population cares about the plays. So why would I waste airspace, time, and allow new Chads to get confused over such a minute thing? It doesn't even make the channel money. It distracts people, gets them to lose stuff, and then people get mad at me and think I'm mad at them because I'm like, yo, you didn't follow the rules. I'm sorry. I can't treat you different than anyone else. But guess what? It's nobody's fault. And I hope you guys get it. It's the culture that comes with gambling. The fuck you talking about? And that's why I'm saying we could end it and it's over. Ta-da! That's it. So you don't have to blame anybody. You don't have to blame a complainer. You don't have to blame a flexer. It's nobody's fault. I genuinely believe that. This is just what happens when you play in the mud. Yes or no? That's why I'm telling you, you haven't noticed that the culture behind gambling and online and all of it, they make jokes, they say bad words, even not like it's a different level of offensive. They joke about being cucks. They joke about all these disgusting, it's bad jokes, not even that funny. Then they're angry. You haven't noticed that gambling brings a lot of anger? You don't notice it's 1 minute very, very, oh, I love it, and then the next minute it's anger? Only a gambler, you could give them a meal 9 days in a row, and then they get mad that you left out dessert. Only a gambler. Only the gambling culture. Because again, I'm a gambler. Make no mistake, my brothers. I don't sit on this platform looking down on any of you. I never have. Some of you may be insecure and think I am. That's your fucking fault. Because I'm a gambler. I know I gamble. People get mad that I call what I do gambling, even if I gamble very well and I call it gambling. They'll say, that's not gambling. It's gambling. Stop it. I'm not playing around. I know what it is. That's why I've handled it, I think, pretty well. But make no mistake, bro. It's gambling. Do you understand? So it's the culture, bro. And I've had enough life experience. And I think some of you, young and old, might need to get a reality check on this. Your gambling friends have not helped you in life. They haven't helped me. Even the gambling people I associate with, they have added more stress in conversation for no reason than anything in my life. It's a waste of time. And that's why. Get long-term here. Let me help you with information. Do whatever you want with the information. You don't need to tell anybody. It's over now. No more. Long-term is it. That's it. But I don't want this culture anymore. You will be here to get info. You will be here to be pushed to your highest standard. I will tell you stuff before anybody tells you, and I'll tell you it truthfully. And I will tell you even if I have a bias or not, and I will try my best. But no more gambling. You can gamble, believe me. I'll give you info. I think some of you, like I said, you have a foundation. You have a long term. You have all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's all very, very good things. But if you don't get the other stuff first, it's just not going to help. And I don't have time to figure out who's doing that or not. And we're not going to do that. So you get a long term. You do your thing. And when it comes to the trading, but I want to hear about the long term. And I don't want people to have any other noise that's confusing them. Is there information and can we talk about plays? Yes, some of you, I really like it, actually. You know, today I had people asking me, hey, what about the bonds? What if we do this? What if I wanted to make a play on this? My brother, I will give you all of my information and help you. I would love to do that. But you need to know it's gambling. But once you have the information, you need to make your decision. There's no more social element to it. And that's why, too, I don't want you guys to get caught up in it. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be a mod. You don't need to worry about talking to random people on the internet. We are here to make money, yes or no. Are you with me or not? I'm telling you, bro. These guys want to get you caught up in a weird social game, and now you're spending time emailing and talking. Fuck all that. We're here to make a bag, dude. What are you saying? You don't get on YouTube trying to learn. We're here to make money. You're not here to manage some social shit. And yeah, just more emotions, bro. Fuck all that. I love you all, and you know that. And some of y'all know we have a different level of, we got a good friendship. Some of us have done it long enough. You see what I'm saying? With enough mutual respect. And that's why I don't feel bad doing any of this, because I know people are here. You know where I'm saying exactly. The people are here to confuse, and I don't want to do that. And that's why we'll stick with it, bro. And you have questions, you have plays, ideas. We could talk about it, and we could really get to it. But we got to do things the right way, and we want long-term. But I don't want any more gambling culture. So I'm excited for it. But I do hope, as Philo, you guys need to start getting a reality check on this gambling thing. And I mean it in a healthy way, because I'm not, like I said, bro, I'm not blaming anybody. You just got to know what happens when you walk into when you go to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Vegas got hookers. It has drugs. You know that, bro? I could go with Vegas with one of my friends, bro. Oh, my God, he'll get you whatever you want. I'm like, how? He said, it's Vegas. It's disgusting. But that's Vegas. It's there. So do you know what you're signing up for in this culture? I have a different culture. We are a cult, but it's a different culture here, and I'm not going to stand for it. So feel free to. I don't judge you. But just know, when you engage in a certain culture, it's going to bring certain things. And I'm done being surprised about it. You should not be either. There's more emotions. There's more anger. There's more backstabbing. There's more all of that shit. That just long-term and chill, bro. Let's go get cribs. Let's all become millionaires. Amen? That's the fucking plan. Let's get it. Woo! So, I think this is a good segue, because the first thing I want to talk about before I read to you is failure, but the types of ways we fail. And I realized it, bro. I realized it. Oh, man. I was just thinking about it. I had a good weekend. I was just chilling. I had a lot of time to pray, read. I would nap even. And I was like, I did some stuff. I was like, woo. Then I get prideful. I was like, wait, no, don't get too prideful, because you did the right thing. What the fuck? You see, that's shout out C.S. Lewis, bro. But I had a lot to think about. And I was just thinking about the ways we fall into things. And then I was thinking about the ways we fall into you could fall into a failure. You could fall into a sin, and it could be the same thing, but it could be a different motivation. And that may sound confusing, but let me just break it down very, very simply for you. I think there is two types of failure when it comes to falling short, and what causes it. It is either pride or weakness. And I genuinely think that's it. Love it. So I think it's a good segue, because I could use gambling. I didn't want to use gambling as the example, but it's a great example. Gambling. Some people have made very bad mistakes gambling, and it's cost them. But some of you fell into it out of pride. And the same person in the same life fell to it out of weakness. What I'm trying to tell you is I've made mistakes in my life. I've gambled, and I fell into bad gambles and bad decisions that I shouldn't have done, and I did it because I was prideful. I was just talking about a trade I lost, and I had pride. I was certain. There was an element of pride. I was not considering other alternatives. There's many things. Ask a hater what I should have done different, right? But pride, there was pride in it. You could fall by pride. Again, some of y'all, I don't think you think you have a problem with smoking, with drugs, with alcohol. Go down the list. You lust, you guys love that one. I love that one. You go down the list, bro. Sometimes it's pride. Right? Oh, I can handle that. Oh, this doesn't affect me. Come on. Oh, but this. Oh, if I get this, then I'm this. Oh, if I do this, then I'm going to be like this. Think about pride. Pride could cause you to fall. But the same person in the same life, in the same thing, can also fall due to weakness. That's where addiction. That's where people say, no, addiction is a disease. I do think you could control it. I think it's a weakness. I think you got to strengthen it. That's what I learned in life with my addictions. But do you guys understand the concept here? And I hope this provides you clarity, like we talked about. Because when you fall to mistakes, this is how it gets twisted against you. That's how that little voice in your head is like, oh, you did that again, bro. Oh, you doing it. And then it tries to get you to do the opposite because you're not identifying it. See, you did it because of weakness. The wrong voice in your head is telling you to fix it with pride. No. And vice versa. You fell because of pride, but you're not really realizing maybe you're just weak in an area, bro. You know, that's why, like, being real isn't that bad, bro. That's why these reality checks, I swear to you, bro. Some of y'all, you might think I'm pissed. I'm not, dog. Especially at you. I ain't mad at you, dude. Trust me. I ain't even mad at myself. I stopped doing that. You should not do that either. You think what? You think there's something wrong with looking and saying that's weak? I'm not scared of it. Are you? I think we are. I have been. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm weak, dude. Some of y'all need to really get that through your head. This is the epitome of the Bible. Do you understand? The cornerstone the builders rejected. This is the epitome of the Bible. Literally, a Pharisee is just pride. Not acknowledging the weakness. I know, bro. So you got to know the weakness because then you can strengthen it. But you got to start thinking and look. If you are falling to the same things, I hope that the voice in your head doesn't pull you in the wrong direction because, again, I hope you get clarity. I hope you have peace. And the way you're going to get peace is understanding these things. And saying and understanding is this, am I doing this out of pride or am I doing this out of weakness? If it's weakness, you know what to strengthen. If it's pride, my brother, pride is like sometimes the easiest and the hardest one. Because if it goes in your ear and you hear it and you're like, you know what, boom, you melt instantly. You're like, I'll humble myself. But again, somebody like, I don't know if it's pride. That might be pride. It might be. I don't think it's pride. I think it's. Are you sure? Tell me it in the mirror. Tell me go. Say it to yourself in the mirror. Explain to me it's not pride in the mirror. So this is a good one though, and this is just your intro. But Chad, think about it. Pride versus weakness. It's okay to be weak. Honestly, we've all done all this. You're going to be prideful at times. Trust me. You know, as of lately, I find moments I'm getting prideful. I do. And it's cool to grow and learn in a way that you can pull it back, bro. You're all going to get prideful at various things. But it's just going to lead you into problems. I promise it. Pride feels really good, you guys. You know that? It feels great. That's why people want you to, that's why they like making you feel like shit. If they feel better, because it feels good. Pride, I'm better than you. I'm this. Oh, I'm so great. It feels amazing, bro. But it never really leads to anything good. I think confidence is good for you. I think some of you need more confidence. And I think confidence is healthy. You need confidence to stand on what you believe and to stand for something. But you don't need pride. Again, weakness, I wouldn't be ashamed of it. And I'd figure it out. And if you could walk away by the end of this day, end of this week, and be like, damn, I'm weak at that, great. You could work it out now. There's nothing bad about weakness. Oh, yeah. So that being said now, are you ready? I want to ask you guys the questions. I love this verse, dude. It's such a trip. Because I heard somebody bring up Amos in the Bible. It's a really random book. It's a random book in the Bible. It's only about 9 chapters. It's really just a random book in the Bible. You don't really hear Amos talked about too much, right? But there's a series of questions that just blew my mind. Blew my mind, actually. And I hope this has the same effect on you today. And then bonds are going back up, SPY a little lower. Remember, we have been doing very good since the bond auction. Are you ready? I'll ask you a couple of easy questions. I think that bond volume is real, but yeah, one of them. That's good. Again, that bond auction was super solid. So I'm actually shocked. We'll talk about it after, but like I was saying prior, these damn bond auctions are hella weird because the long ends are all outperforming, even though this had been one of the worst periods for the long end. And then just watch out. See if we flush over here. All the traders still locked in. Just again, it's still right below 559. I'll give you a level checkup real quick. 561. This is the level, and then just back to 559 or 56, and then 5586 to 8371. But I don't know if we'll even move like that. All right. So let me ask you a question. Does a lion roar without a battle? Let me ask you another. I'll ask you a better one. Does a bird get caught in a trap without there being bait? It's funny, this whole Amos thing, I read it, and it kind of, I'll read it to you. It'll sound like a damn Remble track. These sound like he's just asking these obvious questions. When you hear a siren, should you be alarmed? It's Remble. It's Amos. It's Amos. Airbnb on the low. You're going down, though. Watch out. Bonds clip the high, too. So be locked in. The low ticker is fully gassed right now as I'm preparing this Philo punchline for you. Yeah, it is moving. No headlines yet still at all. I see Pakistan, and they say clash is imminent. That was recent. That's the only one. You pay more attention. Wow. I love it. So let me just read this to you. And I want you to see if you notice it. Okay, it's Amos 3. Amos 3:3. Can two people walk together without agreeing on the direction? Does a lion ever roar in a thicket without first finding a victim? Does a young lion growl in its den without first catching its prey? Does a bird ever get caught in a trap that has no bait? Does a trap spring shut when there's nothing to catch? When the ram horn blows a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Does disaster come to a city unless the Lord has planned it? Indeed, the sovereign Lord never does anything until he reveals his plan to his servants, the prophets. The lion is roared, so who isn't frightened? The sovereign Lord has spoken, so who can refuse to proclaim his message? Announce this to the leaders of Philistia and the great ones of Egypt. Take your seats now on the hills around Samaria and witness chaos and oppression. My people have forgotten how to do right, says the Lord. Their fortresses are filled with wealth, taken by theft and violence. Therefore, says the sovereign Lord, an enemy is coming. He will surround them and shatter their defenses. Then he will plunder their fortresses. This is what the Lord says. A shepherd who tries to rescue a sheep from the lion's mouth will recover only 2 legs or a piece of an ear. So it'll be for the Israelites in Samaria lying on luxurious beds, and for the people of Damascus reclining on couches. Now listen to this and announce it all through Israel, says the Lord of God of heaven's armies. On the very day I'll punish Israel for its sins, I will destroy the pagan altars of Bethel. The horns of altars will be cut off and fall to the ground. I will destroy the beautiful homes of the wealthy, their winter mansions and their summer homes too. All the palaces filled with ivory, says the Lord. Wow. That's deep. There's a lot in there. But do you get what the Philo is today? There's some deep stuff, and there's a lot of implications. And yeah, he's calling out the rich people. Oh, dude, there's so much in that. But you might have missed it. You might have damn missed it, Chad. Do you know what I'm going to tell you? Again, imagine how important that is in the Lord and the prophets and God and just so many deep things in there. Then the rich and honor, justice. Dude, you could go down the list. I think some people, you might have missed it, bro. Because before you talk about any of that, what do you mean? You want to tell me about the lion and nature, and you want to tell me about prophecies and all of that? Let me ask you a question first. Are you ready? Can 2 people walk together without agreeing on a direction? That's what really matters in that verse, my friends. Because, my brother, we can't have these discussions if we're not in agreement. What are you talking about? The world is such a complex place, and we can make it very complex, but what about the simple things? That's what he starts it off with. What do you mean? Out of any of these questions, can 2 people walk together without agreeing on the direction, bro? Dude, that's insane. That is such an important question. And I don't think it's random as hell or heaven. But no, it's not. Because it does highlight, this is why the unity is so key. This is why do you think all of the noise does actually clap you? Don't be prideful, I can handle this. No, because guess what? You can't even walk. How are we going to walk? Go take one person and try to move forward if y'all can't even agree on where to go. What do you mean? You want to tell me about animals and gods and prophets? You can't even have human on human walking in the same direction, dude. My brother, I'm sorry, we can't have plays in the chat anymore. You know why? Those are 2 different directions. How can we? We can't, because it's impossible for us to walk without agreeing on a direction. How will any of us move forward without agreeing on a direction? This has to do with your planning, and this has to do with people. Oh, Chad, this is so key. So my brother in Christ and my sisters, don't waste your time on everything else if you haven't found ways to even agree on a direction with those close to you. Because you must. Because it's going to get in the way of everything else. Do you understand? Until you find agreement and can start really aligning yourself. Be like, yo, this is what I want. Okay, this is what I'm going to put myself around. How are you going to move forward? And why do we have such confidence on so many other topics, but how come we can't, if we have that much confidence and we have all this knowledge, how come we can't just walk together then? Why are we, think about all the energy and time on all these different things. But literally, some of us, we would just be staying right where we started. Well, I want to go, we're going to do this, I want to do that. Well, no, I'm going to do this, but no, you can't do this, you got to do that. Well, what about the prophets? What about God? And God said he's going to do. Bro, God said to love your neighbor as you love yourself. There's a reason why that's such a big command. Because the irony of so many things we deal with, bro. There is complexity and there is deep stuff. And a lot of us want to do that, but then we give no attention to the simple. And the simplest thing in the world is that two people cannot walk together if they don't agree on the direction. So what do you think is going to happen if you have a lot of noise and everyone's just arguing about direction? You're not going to move. That's just nature. This is human nature. And it is funny because we do we're such smart humans. And we like to make smart arguments for all sorts of things. And we like to think and apply ourselves to bigger topics than just us. But then at the same time, we can't even get agreement between two people to go on a walk. You don't think that's wild? You don't think that's a priority? That's why it's cool and all. You want to talk to me about the prophets? Awesome. But what good is knowing that if we can't even agree? Because you can know what the prophet says, you don't agree. Oh, the lion's a threat. The lion's not a threat. We don't even agree on it. How are we going to do anything? Oh, no, it's worth it. It's not worth it. We can't even agree. And then think about your life, dude. This is just people, but how does it apply to you? You have you and your future self. Have y'all agreed on the same thing? Oh, yeah, don't forget about that one, Chad. This is a social philo, but it's also about you too, in many ways. That's what I'm saying. There's a part of you gambling, a part of you not gambling. You guys got to agree, bro. You need to align yourself with what's around you, the people, everything. And you got to worry about that before the deep stuff. But then internally, it's yourself too. All day, this whole year, I've been telling you all about your future self. So I said, I'll talk to you at the end of the year. Okay, well then, whatever you do, it's your future self. You got to align it now, bro. Because again, how are we going to, if you can't even agree on the direction? You have you today and then you in 10 years. You guys both need to agree on where you're going. Otherwise, nothing's going to move. But think about it and imagine all these plans. And what good is planning all of this stuff and thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, then this and that. But you today is not agreeing with what 10 years needs. The future self, once again, there is still just disagreement on direction. Such a wicked dude, it's the simplest thing. If you don't have an agreement on direction, you're going nowhere. And until we do that, if you can't solve that, why are we trying to solve world hunger? Why are you trying to cure cancer? Those aren't bad things to try. But arguably, I feel like we would be closer to those things if we just started agreeing on directions more. Again, the anxiety, the cognitive dissonance, waking up, is this worth it? Bro, your future self and current self, y'all need to figure out if this is what you really wanted. And say, current self, you're going to have to suffer for a little bit, and we're both in agreement. Current and future self, they get it. Otherwise, there's no time for this. Well, future self, I agree, but now I don't like this pain. No, I don't like, well then, guess what? The movement's going to stop. So, I like all the other questions, man. Because, it does give you some age-old warnings, For real. Does a bird get caught in a trap that has no bait? There were some things in there. Like I'm saying, I like the rest of the verse. And it talked about it again. Better watch out if you don't. My people forgot to do what's right. That's a banger right there. Your fortress and wealth, they ain't going to save you. Amen. And there's a lot of good things in that verse. But how, again, if we can't even agree on direction, what's the point? I think that's, and I'm telling you, I hope it blew your mind, because that blows my mind. That whole verse, and it's so deep, so prophetic, and it ties into so many things, but it starts with that. And it asks about danger and lions and God and prophecies and how things work, but then it starts with the most basic question in the world. Can two people walk together without agreeing on direction? And I hope you visualize, because it's ridiculous. And think about it. Think about all the times we have tried to walk without agreeing on direction. Imagine the times we've tried to chase two rabbits. It's a funny thing if you visualize it. But that's what really matters. Agreement, alignment. That's what this is saying. If you don't have, what's the point if we can't align on the plan and what it is? What are we really talking about? Why does there have to be a destination? Why can't we just walk together? You're right, but we still have to agree. Do you understand how powerful this is? That's why being so non-agreeable is such a problem. Because even in the things you hate, you will need to agree. I hope you realize that. You have to have agreement. No matter what, you must agree on something and align and go for it. But without agreement, there is no movement. Without agreement, nothing else is, you could, again, how would you even go after these things you're talking about? So Chad Adonia, pride, weakness, all of it, all gambling, we could go down, but it doesn't matter if we don't agree. And you better start figuring out, and that's why I'm saying, bro, this is not a game. This is not a game. I want y'all to do good, do whatever. But that's why, why are you listening to things you don't agree with? And I don't mean they have a different point of view than me. I mean, I hate this. Okay, why are you putting yourself around it? Vice versa, too. What you're choosing to listen to. And understand, wasting your time not in agreement means no progress. At some point in your life, you're going to have to agree on something between you and your future self and you and the people around you. And the longer you take to find that, the longer it will take to start moving. So, Chad, I will end this with the easiest, most prophetic question in the world. Can two people walk together without agreeing on the direction. Take that one to the bank. That is your philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We're live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. And then that's it. You already did it. You already good to go. Yeah, watch. Yeah, was it Japan? Mitsubishi News? And then Supreme Court allows Trump to enforce ban on transgender people from serving in the military. Well, there you have it. But Chad, we're back. So welcome. We still got a little bit of time here, so now is your moment. U.S. and U.K. close to trade deal to cut tariffs. Financial Times. Okay, so positive rumor. Again, we heard some stuff like this in the morning with UK and the other one, UK and India. But you're getting a little pop there. You got a trade headline coming in. So today has been a little reactionary to the headline. That's going a little bit more. U.S. to be signed this week. So that might be the one that they were hinting at. So it's either going to do like last time. It's either going to last for like 5 minutes or 2 minutes and then done, or this will actually get some juice. But again, this is all like reactionary based, if that makes any sense. You know, just like the first time, the market was like, yeah, this is good, but you might get one of those reactions. But yeah, people are reacting to it a little bit. All right, we'll keep watch on that. All the premiums are lower. And then NNE, what was the other one? SMR? Oh, watch biotechs too. I really like that. Biotechs are down 5, dude. They kept going lower too for a little, but yeah, 2 minutes on that. Are any tariffs going? I don't think so. We haven't really heard it, but I think after today, I think it's going to be a lot slower. I think that could turn into a headwind because, you know, we've been moving fast and people have a lot of expectations, but like low key, bro, the comments from Trump today sounded like they need more time, a lot of time, because it seems like it's going to still be slow. And even then, UK, Japan, this has been weeks now. India. CPS on the high. What's this? Cooper. Would I sell the long term to free up debt? No. I mean, you could if it really gets that bad, but ideally, the way to do it, you set up a plan to tackle your debt just as you set up a plan to pay yourself. Okay, you're still dancing, bro. More uranium plays are going now. CCJ. The other uranium plays popped and locked, and then SPY's still holding off of that, so be on watch. Your super chat from earlier? I will. I didn't see one. My bad. And then I need to show you guys that video. Thank you for the consistent stream. Oh my gosh. Your beagle is killed? I'm so sorry, bro. No. That's terrible, bro. Well, man, keep your head up, bro. I'm glad I could keep your mind off it, but that sucks, dude. Another Chad just lost the dog as well. I was just saying, I was like, it's tough, man. I don't know. It's sad, bro. It's very, very sad. But head up, bro. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's that, though. It'll be bad for a little. Okay, you're already fading that one there. Watch out. India. I don't know. India is like, I don't know how to play that stock for the deal, and it's just been so long. That's why, but I do think if there was a war, it'd probably affect like trade and maybe energy or oil. I don't expect anything. I mean, the Fed might move big. The market might move a lot, or we'll see if we're too focused. But Jerome Powell shouldn't really do too much, and he's not expected to. And it probably, we might get like a milestone. He might say some target, which will get people really moving. Maybe they have more or less certainty around trade, and then quantitative tightening, and that plan will be something I would be listening for, and that could move us. But other than that, it's not really still expected to move too much. Again, and as odd as it may be, we are virtually not pricing in any action, and all the data is a lot better since before. But ironically enough, the last time the data was this good, they cut rates before the election. No exaggeration. So last time financial conditions were at the same spot, we cut rates prior to the election. And then it got really different, and now we're back to that mode. And that's why, the hard data has been holding up. I think Powell punting is both a good thing and just kind of the base case. Float or lock it in. I would probably lock it in. Some people like the floated ones, but I don't really like the idea of it going higher. But floated, you might benefit off of lower rates, or you could get hurt by it. What are the terms on a floated rate? It's probably a 5-arm, 5-1. All right, are you guys ready? Here's the clip. This is the funniest shit. So CNN got a Cartel member. They put him in a mask and sunglasses to talk, right? And then Palantir CEO is on he's on CNBC right now. And they asked him about what he thought about Trump. And they try to get him to like talk shit. Are you ready? Here it is. No, this one's good, bro. Are you ready for this?
I mean, according to the Trump administration, you are a terrorist.
She says you're a terrorist. That's not the good part. Hold on. He says the situation is ugly, but we have to eat. What's your message to Donald Trump? My respect. According to him, he is looking out for his people. But the problem is the consumers are in the United States. If they weren't consumers, we would stop. So yeah, that was his message to Donald Trump. Much respect. So yeah, I think that one. I don't think that's what they expected. Yeah. That's an old clip. I thought that was a couple days ago, because I think all of this is new. The whole cartel thing. I'm pretty sure that was in the last like 48 hours, or at least the last week. But it's 2025. CNN is more willing to poke the bear than the cartel, which is funny if you really think about it. Okay, SMR and NNE, they're on the low ticker now. So whatever that was, that just flipped. The concern. I mean, it is true. I mean, that's it. We got to get rid of the drug problem. If we weren't the customers, I think it'd be a little different. Because I think, like, only in America, yeah, maybe Europe, but America's, like, the only place in the world where a majority of like the culture doesn't frown upon you for doing drugs, if that makes sense. Because like drugs are bad, but America, we don't really give a shit. But like anywhere else in the world, like have you guys ever been to Mexico? Because you know in Mexico, you could go to a pharmacy and you could go buy Xanax, you could go buy painkillers, you could buy all of it. They don't have the same drug addiction problems that we do. And all of it's legal at a store. It's because I've talked to people, it's just like the culture is different. Like they don't get into drugs. Like it's looked down upon very heavily in most societies. Like we look down upon drugs, but look, you go on the internet, do that. You know how many kids are going to argue, okay, mushrooms is bad. Okay, yeah, there you go. Well, no, it's for mental health, Josh. It's sure. Okay, yeah. So I rest my case. So, yeah. No one really likes drugs, but America, you got like drug culture. Not old as 2 days ago, yeah. That's what I was saying. The video may have been a couple days old, but that was a recent clip because that's new. Trump didn't do that on the last term. Hims, bro. 15-7 after this morning was down. All right, is there any off-topic questions? This is your moment. We got a little bit of time. We've actually been talking more stocks. What do I think of Johnny Chang? The guy I went to high school with? I don't know. I know a guy I went to high school named Johnny Chang, but I'm not following. Mortal Kombat? The Christian, the pastor? I don't know who he is. Former watching gang member? Oh, no. You guys know him, though. I don't know him. Yeah, I know Johnny Chang from high school. Yeah, he's dope. Good guy, bro. Good guy. No, people know Johnny Chang. I'll look into that. I think the lady dude, I don't know, though. The pastor world is fucking TD Jakes and Diddy, don't get me started. And then, did you see Mike Todd wearing fucking bell bottoms and high heels? Like, someone showed me him pouring syrup on a Bible. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? All right. And then, what was the other one? There's one more. I've seen weird pastor things, but I like Philip Anthony. He's a good guy. That's the new guy, and I like him a lot. He's the guy on the beginning of that one song. I've been to an Orthodox church back in the day. We finished the GTA trailer. I put it on a little bit after. It was mid, bro. It was mid. You're buying your first property. Will it be harder to get your second one? Yes. Just because the loan. So the first property, you could get like lower down payment. You could get different types of loans. But once you have a property, now they're going to ask you for more down payment, higher interest. It's just because, it's not your main property. Somebody is going to be more likely to pay for their primary residence than something else, than a second property. One day you'll get me to answer the question, what did I do after school on 6th grade? I used to go to 6 to 6 because my parents were poor and they worked. So I would have to go to the after-school programs. I even said it. I was a free lunch kid for a little bit. But we play outside. I would play basketball. I would play football at the park. Yeah. And then like by 8th grade, I was smoking weed. So that things changed pretty quick. But yeah, 6th grade was and then Halo, play video games. I play video games and sports. That's it. Pretty normal kid, I guess, if that was considered normal. First home 300 to 400. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever you could afford, whatever makes sense. I think for Chads and what I am trying to hammer home is that if you guys want to do it how I did it, this is, I made some money, saved, put it between stocks and real estate. First house was about equity. It's about building equity. So I think it doesn't matter what the cost of the house is. I don't care if it's $100,000, $1 million. Are you getting it at a good deal? And again, does it meet your financial situation? You have to be able to afford it. But the idea is to make money and build equity off of that. And that is kind of that's the sweet spot. I'd rather have 10, 20, 30% off the market value of the property. That's the sweet spot rather than like a loan. The only thing sweet about the loan will probably be the interest rate, whether you get a high one or a low one. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Palant, your boy's talking. I'll let him play while I field some off-topic questions. Including if you have any more.
Spun off from Comcast and NBC Universal later this year, now has a name, Versant. The name chosen as a blueprint for versatility, growth, and innovation. This is the company's new logo. Cable networks CNBC, MSNBC, Golf Channel, USA, Oxygen, and more will all be a part of Versant now, as well as digital assets including Fandango, Golf Now, and Sports Engine. CNBC media and sports reporter Alex Sherman is here with me. Alex, you have more details on this new name. Very exciting.
This is corporate history that we are living right now, Kelly. Yeah, Versant, like conversant. The name was chosen, I'm told.
I wanted some crackhead Palant. Always a fun guy. You got a house that price drop. Wait, that had the price drop 460 over 10 months. Any way to tell you how well you did? Did good. What do you mean? Oh, if you already bought the house, I mean, wait, were you the guy who was remodeling it? I don't know if were you the guy who put the $80K into the house to remodel? No? Okay, because I was like, no, it doesn't matter if you're already fucking remodeling. You could send it, but, I mean, you could just go look at the comps, go see what you paid, and then go look at your neighborhood and go look within a mile and see what the last 3 months, anything was similar size, lot size, similar features to the property, and then that will give you an idea. With less screet selling for the same or more, then you're good. That's the big thing I've been saying lately, as long as you're not overpaying. And it's kind of surprising. We've seen some areas. Where are you at? You said Florida? But it's like Florida's been tough. But other than that, it has been, some areas surprised, dude. And they're like still holding up. And like I said, I've been seeing deals, but if the prices for smaller are going up, then you're good to go. The only problem I've seen with most is that it'll probably take longer to sell now. That's what's been changing. Whereas, yeah, prices haven't budged, but some people are getting nervous with how long it sells. But for now, unless you have plans to move, if you already bought the house, you're already in it. So it doesn't even, at this point, you'll probably live through the equity. So, like, if you did overpay for the first year, assuming the market doesn't crater, it'll just take a year to go back there. But it sounds like you're already doing good. Whirlpool PE ratio is 571. I think so. Because Whirlpool, they had a real big decline in some of the revenues. Yeah, it's 700 PE. That's why they might cut their earnings or their dividend. Or if it's a one-time and it comes back up, then that'll adjust. HELOC. So I get this question almost every day. At the right time, a HELOC could be used, but in most instances, I would not do it. So if you came across a property and it's a steal of a deal, HELOC that shit and go and buy it. But I wouldn't go out of my way, buy a house, current market value, to rent it for whatever. That UK headline from Financial Times is getting reiterated. They're pumping it again. Yeah, NVR buybacks, that hit the wire too. Past sales, Redfin and Zillow. Unless it's like Texas, because you need like MLS for that. But yeah, dude, MO is great. Real estate mentorship conventions any good? It all depends. Some people it's good to network with. Those meetings are good if you could meet investors, like real investors. Other than that, though, I do think the real estate game is simple, and I think you could learn a lot with or without it. But you are going to need investors eventually. But I don't know. Real estate is. I will tell you. I was thinking about this doing curls. Because, again, as part of more of the data, I was just like, man, I've seen some Chads, like, get into the real estate and just run with it so fast. And then I've seen some Chads take a long time. I've seen some Chads get very excited about it for a couple of months, and then maybe they thought it would be a different way, then they go another route, and then just it really is a mixed bag. And I'm saying that because I think you have really good ways that you could learn, and I think some people need more or less assistance, but it's a difficult game, and you have to put in a lot of work. It sounds easy, and it does, but it is a lot harder, and you have to be prepared to. Sometimes you'll just get lucky. Sometimes you will find stuff right away, or if it's fun to you, it's a very easy job. But all of it is very time-consuming. You deal with people, and there is a lot of back and forth. So that's why I'm saying, like, you could go to meetings and stuff, and they will teach you, and you could learn certain things. And I think the best advantage is networking, but there is always going to be an element of how you respond to it, if that makes any sense. And, like, kind of you in this type of game that is a lot of moving parts. Yeah, we're moving. There was a UK deal rumor from Financial Times, and I was just telling you that it's reiterating and hitting other wires again at VWAP. And then you have CCJ. There was a Mitsubishi deal. Some of the nuclear stocks ran up. Uranium's been killing it. Now Mexico's on the high. EWW. And then VST. A lot of things are moving now. Whoa, SMR took off again now? Wait, what the fuck? Yo, SMR, yeah, they all just went crazy. What the hell? Yeah, those all just popped back up. Came back to life. Trump aims to hasten nuclear power. Yeah, bro, the first one was a snitch. Trump executive order on nuclear. Axios. Yep, that's confirmed. Uranium. Zero volume. Well, SPY's going, bro. All the nuclear plays are going insane. I like the SMR ones, but I had one on watch, and then it just whoop. But it's not bad. The spreads are just wide, so like you can't really see what the plays are at. But now they're tightening up a little bit. But yeah, you should have got it on here. Well, dude, I had this on screen earlier. We saw it, but we just didn't know what it was. Remember, there was that pop and lock. We thought it was the Mitsubishi deal, but nah, there was an executive order. So yeah, Trump is signing order to hasten nuclear power. Pony, bro, I wanted that in the morning. I put that on the stocks to watch on the stream alert this morning because the Uber deal. But then it faded. I was like, all right, we'll come back to it. Then it just took off. You don't know what hasten means? It means hurry. FTAI on the high. State Department, Rubio will merge Office of Palestinian Affairs into Embassy in Jerusalem. Yeah, Constellation's a good one for that too. Should you be HELOCing a paid off 2 family? Like I said, I think it relates to the whole gambling thing when it comes to this question, because you have equity, it's your money, your house is your little piggy bank, and you could use it, but I just think you should use it at the right time. I just, like I've said on the other example, I see a lot of people treat their homes like a credit card, in the sense that right when they get a limit and they're like, oh my gosh, I could spend this, and then they just go shopping and buy something just because. So if there's no like amazing deal right in front of you, there is no reason to rush any sort of deal. Other than that, I do think that, if you ever found a great deal, good discount, I mean, there you got that money ready to go. Chancellor Mers says it's normal for some coalition to vote against him. We have sold covered calls in the long term, yes. $18 months to find it. 50 houses, yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, SMR is the one I liked. I was watching the 19 earlier. It went crazy. That's it. They already had, but they had giant spreads. That's why I was like, the pricing was weird. But yeah, no, those took off. Oh shit, yeah, and that wasn't even for a weekly though. Yeah, I was looking at one with time. I would even go to the ones with time if you do want any of those. Other than that though, you missed it. We had that zone there when we were watching it for no damn reason. But now they're going crazy. It's still only 5%, and these plays are up a lot more, but you're going to need a lot of bullish follow-through. Other than that, though, it's up to you. Good luck. You don't need to post your play. You got the info. Of DC? DC, I have agents out there. I think we have one. But unless you don't, I wouldn't buy if you don't need to be there. But if you do need to be there, you have better supply, slightly lower prices. But all these places that have had high inventory, they haven't like got clapped yet. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of it is just like media hype. Like people saying like DC is still expensive. It's not, and like, yeah, more houses have sold. It's a little bit more than the prior years, but it's not like no crazy price changes. Again, even, what's it called? Who was it? Dude, Florida. More supply than like 2018, 2017. Prices are not going down. But yeah, so you could look, but just make sure you're not like tricked into paying seller market prices. And that's what I see happen. Refinance to save $400 a month. Will that $400 a month help you a lot? So if that $400 a month is worth it, yeah, but like rates could go down a lot more and you might be able to save more. And remember, when you refinance, you're going to spend 1% of your home value. So you're going to give up a little equity to refinance. We're going up. The two headlines here and here. The same one reiterated rumor of a UK-US trade deal this week. Financial Times. That's right here. And then right here, it got reiterated again. To take Andro public. Oh, I don't know. The weapons AI, it'll be crazy, but I feel like at one point, some of these companies that go public too soon in AI, I don't like it. I think you only go public if you need to cash out or if you don't really believe in it that much. Because if you are right now early ground to AI and you already got fundraising, unless you need more money, I would just I'd be greedy. China devaluing via gold and not Forex. That would be crazy, but I don't think they'd be willing to do that per se. They might welcome the effect if that occurred, but China doesn't strike me as a try to control domestic with something that they don't have control over, if that makes any sense. So there's too many hands in the gold bucket, and then it was primarily controlled by Europeans. So they have a lot, but they don't think about it. This is the country that has capital controls. You can't control gold like you could your own currency. So I think they welcome the effect, but I don't think that's their strategy. Is that accurate that you lose 1% every time you refi? I think so. It's closing cost. That's the thing. I hate closing costs on all deals. And that's what it's like, usually 1%, maybe even more. So you refinance, end one loan, get another loan, there's going to be a closing cost. And that's usually about 1.5% if you get a good deal, or 1% if you get a good deal. So if you're paying 1%, yeah, your interest rate, you save monthly, but then, yeah, even he's saying I won't write one for less than 1%. So you're paying 1% of the value to get a new loan. So you lose 1% equity every time you refi, which for some people it's worth it. I think at other times it's worth it. So like I'm saying, if that $400 a month is worth it and you're okay losing and paying those costs, yeah, go ahead. Otherwise, rates could still drop a lot. And if you're going to spend that equity to refi eventually, you might as well get more bang for your buck. Hims again. Hims about to go to 50. That would have been a great one off the morning. NTCL. Intel high ticker is almost fully gassed. Again, a lot of the uranium plays, nuclear going, SPY back to where, this is where they were talking about like Canada, USMCA and all that. Florida. I like Florida a lot. I just don't like the supply. And then the the prices haven't dropped. So, yeah, that's the only problem. Thank you for the info. Thank you, my friend. Killing Preem. Yeah, after I should have held the first put, but after that, after you get like the first big move, the next moves are usually just to take the money back. But I'm just I can't wait till Florida is good prices. I would love some good prices there, but that's the only thing that scares me right now. Just because it's like a lot of homes and the prices are still up as if they have no inventory. You're lucky don't top play. Well, listen. Just don't post it. You feel free to pay the plug, but, just don't confuse anybody else. Take the info. That's all. Texas did come down a little bit, though. Like, dude, Austin got clapped. I feel bad, but then I'm like, man, they were such assholes to me in Austin. But, yeah, Austin did come down. Some places in Texas are cheap. So I found some places there, but, yeah, they did calm down a lot. Right. Any final ones? Any final off topics? This is your moment. You got a Houthi headline. Mm-hmm. The Fed event, we'll talk about it on the watch list tonight. We did talk about it a little bit earlier, but I wouldn't expect much. But if you are going to expect much, it will be if he talks about a timeline or quantitative tightening, nothing else. Other than that, tomorrow, Powell's the biggest event, but it's going to be a non-event to a certain degree. But then again, we have been surprised a couple of times. Jensen live on CNBC after the break. The best deal you ever had? I've had many good ones. I got Bitcoin at $300. I don't know if you know that, but that was a great deal. I got to buy a lot of the Inland Empire before people valued it heavily. I've had great flips. There's been a couple out there, man. There's been a couple. Yeah, I got some short China. I've had some good deals in my life. Oh, Jessica Alba. You didn't know that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got E. coli. See, so I'm banning you because you chose to point out the one weird thing when that wasn't the question. You're a hater. I don't like people like that. Bad energy. But yeah, I did. We did have E. coli. And thank God for E. coli because E. coli opened the door to making 7 figures on Trump coin. But that got me a lot of unsubscribers. Yeah. So bad plays too. But he asked me about the good ones. And I was being humble about the good ones too. And then homeboy wants to get in the middle. So yeah. So Julio, now don't ask me real estate questions. All of that. I answered your real estate. I gave you good advice. And then you just talk shit. Ain't that funny? But yeah. Bye-bye. I was a flex. Nah. I know their hearts, bro. Y'all think I don't know what you're saying? Come on. I've been around haters my whole life. My life has made people very envious. So I don't want that. It sucks, but I don't fight it anymore. I'm used to it. So, yeah. Go home. It's this is all it is, bro. I know what it is. I know what it is. How would you make your own newswire? You got to get news licenses. So, unfortunately, you got to go to all of the available newswires and buy a license. Some are $200 a month. Some are $2,000. You'll need to buy a live data feed set. It's like $15 a month. And then you'll have to just get AI to code it for you. And then, yeah. And then, pretty easy, but it just costs money. And then you could just run out of sources. Or some might just be prohibitively expensive. That's it. But it's not really that crazy. You don't have to learn. I did it coding without coding. So, but then again, AI coded. I used Python. But, yeah. Or hire someone without licensing. You can, but then that's what I'm saying. Like, you won't be able to get it as fast. So that's it. Like, I get it because I'm getting it straight from the source. So that's why I say, unfortunately, even when people take my info and build their whole life around it, they're still not getting it from the source. So that's it. That's the only thing. You can do it without licenses. That's how I even operated before. Without licenses, you're just a little slower. Okay, you're still even going up, too. This is all the UK stuff. Oh, you're saying hire you to do it. Oh, that was a promo. I didn't know. I didn't know that was an advertisement. But, yeah, I guess. I haven't seen it done yet. So that's the one X factor that we do got our own little unique thing. And I am not an engineer by trade. You could use APIs, yeah. Some of it is APIs. So there's a lot of it. Nvidia is going. I think that's what you're going to get the big announcement on. It's going to be Nvidia and the Saudis. So mark that. Do it free. I want a website for people to post stuff eventually, but that's the thing. But then again, like I've been trying to like push myself with the vibe coding, so that's been fun. Dude, Oklo again? Bro. The nuclear ones moved. Toyota buys 40% stake in used car seller Astra Digital. You PMO it deep pissed you off? I use DeepSeek for a little bit, but I think Grok is DeepSeek now. It's the same shit. I have been vibe. I didn't know that's the name. My girlfriend told me it's called vibe coding because I taught her to do it. Bro, dude, my girlfriend is like a genius now. It's insane. Because you guys remember end of last, I told you, I gave you guys a little jump. I told y'all about the AI agents in December and November before all of it. And I was telling you guys how I was like playing around with shit. And I told my girlfriend this. And I was trying to show her and I was showing her what I was doing. Dude, she codes like fucking Excel bots now for her job. And I was blown away, bro. She coded yesterday, she showed me. She took a fucking Python. She coded a Python bot to go through like 80,000 lines on Excel and then create like 50 brand new Excels category by category. And I was like, you did that? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, it's called vibe coding. I was like, what? The thing I told her to do about using like AI and just like learning to prompt it and then teaching you to code, it's just vibe coding. That's what they call it. It's just like you don't need to be a coder. You can teach it and learn to code. You know, yeah, it's like it's actually insane. And I was telling you guys this 6 months ago, and I told you guys should start working on this, bro. And you guys should start like I told some of you, I was like, bro, I went on Cult Real Estate. I showed the Cult Real Estate guys. We were talking about the scrapers and all of that. But I was telling you, I gave you a 6-month jump on it, but now they call it vibe coding. But yeah, it works. It works. Try Cursor. I think, was she the one who used, did she use that? I'll ask her. She was using one that was, I can't believe it. She's better than me at it now. And I was like, damn, son, that's fucked. I'll ask her Cursor, because I've heard of Cursor. She uses the Anthropic a lot now. Yeah, but this is what I was trying to tell y'all, bro. Because I said if you guys get on this, bro, you could build some good shit and not fall behind. But then, like, dude, you could run it. And you could get it to do a lot. And, like, I remember I was telling you, I was like, bro, if you thought you were, like, old and missed the coding wave, you didn't. Because, like, now this is a great opportunity where, like, if you know a little bit and want to learn, AI can supplement all of it. Bro, it's good. You want to live stream messing around? Where I do it or you do it? If you do it, I will, but don't let them hijack you this time. That's it. Last time I gave you the keys, bro, I did turn it into a real estate convention. I was like, what the fuck, Mosby? How did this happen? AI replace customer service reps. Yeah, but here's the beauty. If you have a company and actually put real customer service reps, you just gained like 50% more goodwill with all of your clients. Just if you don't know. Because if I have to talk to another AI chatbot, I'm going to stab somebody. I probably will. I've never done it, but it would be in a video game, but still. It's like, yeah, man, it's annoying. Vibe coding is bad. I interviewed a recent grad and he couldn't explain it. Yeah, it's bad if you're trying to fucking LARP like you're a real coder. You know? Because you're like, yeah, well, yeah, I do computer and this is what I built and yeah, and I need to be, yeah, so you should hire me, $250 a year. Like, that's insane, actually. That's wicked work. So, yeah, you got to know the limitations of it and know. I wouldn't try to, like, I'd build your own projects, learn. It'll give you a good understanding, and you could always develop from there. Oh, that's what I need. I need an app. I have another one for another company. So if you want any of my coder guys, can anybody do a cheap app, like an extensive app, though? I need like an extensive app. It's for one of the companies I own a stake in. They asked me for a fucking $100,000 to build an app. And I was like, you guys can't do it cheaper? And I was like, there's no way to build all this cheaper. So, yeah, if any of you want to do it cheaper, that's what I said. I'm not doing $100,000 in a world of AI. You don't need that. An RFP, sure. You'll do 85K. I was hoping like 85 pesos, or I was just gonna. Cause I told them, I was trying to show them. I was like, you guys know you could outsource this, right? But I even told them I would go and I would try to see. It was like, if you guys don't have any coders yourself, you guys can't. I was like, that's a lot. People used to spend that back in the day. 20. That's what I was saying. I was like 20K for like a large scale one. That's kind of reasonable, but because they have a lot of things they want to do. Oh yeah, I forgot. He's live.
From AI.
That's not
economy.
Jensen.
$4 trillion of
This guy looked like the dude in X-Men.
So the prize is gigantic. We are also putting a different spin on AI than, let me sell you an AI for a silo somewhere in a company. We're talking about autonomous, agentic AI that goes across the entire corporation. So what's different about us is many companies want the predictability of the number of users that will be using this software so they can budget and plan for it. That's fine. But also with AI, we give all of the AI to the customer on our platform, and thousands of use cases for free. And at some point, when they've used up their tokens, yes, a consumption model kicks in, but that's only after they've either saved or made hundreds of millions of dollars. So, John, the prize here is bigger than anything we've ever chased before. And that's why I love Nvidia and Jensen's vision so much, because this is Mr. Exponential here. And Nvidia is the exponential company. And to think that we had that vision, Jensen had a great conversation with me. He said, Bill, we have to build a company that if everyone called in sick on the same day, the company would run just fine. And so there's a lot in there. And that's what we're doing. We're building the autonomous company. And you know, smart building, autonomous vehicles, even a smart lawnmower, the best products will be AI driven. They'll be smart products.
Jensen, I want you to peel back for me another announcement that you guys had this week around Parakeet. So this software that you guys have built, of course, on top of your stack, on top of your platform, that I'm hearing is able to translate
kind of
audio, voice to text.
What time is it? Oh, yeah, we have to free the Chads.
With a 6% word error rate. So this is competitive.
Incredible.
With the most efficient proprietary models out there that I think are in the 2 to 3% range. But this is open source. You guys are just putting this out there. I imagine it's going to be built into games. It's going to be built into enterprise software. It's going to be built into a lot of consumer apps. What's the role of that kind of work that you're doing in seeding the kind of innovation that you're talking about that's going to grow the AI use case and demand for NVIDIA's technology?
Hey, Chads are free.
We have one of the world's leading industrial laboratories. Incredible research team. We do fundamental research so that we could see the future of algorithms, the future of technology, so we could build the necessary computing platform for it. We also do these fundamental AI research so that we could partner with companies like Bill's, so that our researchers and his researchers could build this revolutionary reasoning model. Now, the future of our AI agents are going to be multimodal in the sense that they'll understand information of any form, including voice and vision. Of course, all of your digital employees will be able to understand information of almost any form. You'll interact with it in almost any way and practically every way. And so we want to have this AI research team explore the future and build the best possible AI models for that reason, both for computing reasons as well as so that we could contribute it to the industry and use it to partner with great companies like ServiceNow. Now, one of the things that you were leading up to just now, and ServiceNow is unique in this way in enterprise AI today, they are a full stack company. They build their own infrastructure, host their own AI supercomputers, deliver the services directly to the enterprise companies. They work with the cloud, they work on-prem. As a result, they could deliver excellent quality models, really smart models, really efficiently, cost efficiently, and that interact really fast.
And you've got these models across different industries. So talk to me about who's accelerating now. We talk a lot about customer service and sales as areas that got going early in using AI and using agents. What's the next area, the next industry that you see really powering forward?
Well, we started out, I think the first big one we did together years ago was telco. And it was all about the network and the customer service and all the predictive analytics that have to go into keeping the customer happy so you retain them. Now we're into financial services, we're into manufacturing, we're into pharmaceutical, we're into retail. There literally isn't an industry
Nvidia
that
and
we're
Spy,
not
welcome to
touching
Power Hour,
with
almost 7 minutes.
AI right now.
What's happening in logistics, given everything that's happening with tariffs?
Great question, John. That's a great question. If you think about the systems that these companies are tied down with today, they were 60-year-old systems that are running the companies we know today. I'm not even getting into the 1959 systems that are running public sector. I'm just talking about the main companies that you know and recognize. They've been around 6 decades, and they were built around rigid org charts. So they serve a particular function within a company very well. The problem is, when Steve Jobs brought the iPhone to the market, everybody started with mobile business and they work in teams, and all the decisions are made across functions. So that's why having an east-west, north-south platform powered by Nvidia is such a critical success factor. So what I want to put out there is today, when we announced this reasoning model, we showed people that last year, Jensen and I were talking about avatars, we were talking about voice and animation, and really demonstrating the live agent in an enterprise. 1 year later, we're into reasoning models that are solving complex corporate problems across every function of an enterprise. So my way of thinking of it is, second mover advantage is a really bad idea. Everybody has to get started right now.
Jensen, if policy forces various different developers to effectively build on Huawei, right? Build in that ecosystem.
Oh, no,
what
man.
happens?
The United States has to recognize that we're not the only country in that race, that we have competitors. And so, look, we're confident people, we're a confident country, we have confident companies. We're not afraid of a race. We look forward to a race. Just let us go race. And so I think that now is the time when the United States needs to realize that we need to put the pedal to the metal. We have to fly that plane.
I'm telling you, Nvidia, the big announcement is going to be something with chips in Saudi. I really believe that.
Trying to hold other people back.
Because that's what we thought it was, and then Nvidia's been going up since.
The best move is let Americans do American. Let us go after it and win it. And so I think that the world is right now hungry, anxious to engage AI. They're hungry for AI. Let us get the American AI out in front of everybody right now. Speaking of competition, there's some other chip companies out there that would like to try to muscle their way.
Yeah, a lot of software tech names are still moving though, and chips and the Spy. You're back to where big rumor.
How
big
fast is the
deal. A
pace
big one's coming.
development-wise? I know you're on this yearly cadence of new platforms that you need to keep on in order to feel like you're keeping that distance, that Usain Bolt distance ahead of the other runners.
We've got to keep reinventing ourselves. You know, when Bill and I first met, Nvidia was really a processor company, a GPU.
Me and Bill first met, he didn't wear sunglasses inside. Now he wears sunglasses inside. That's how much fucking money we have made. So I'm just saying, we're gonna keep reinventing ourselves, and that's the plan.
$100 billion. Now,
you know damn well Bill never wore them glasses. Now Bill, a couple of $1 billion later, I wear my sunglasses, AI, so I can, so I can.
Industrial play, it's a new industry, and every country realized that this is now part of your social infrastructure. Every country needs to have it. Just as we had the information infrastructure called the internet, we now have an infrastructure on top of that called the intelligence infrastructure, AI. Every country wants to engage it. So now is the time for us to go after it. Our company has really evolved to now becoming an AI infrastructure company.
On that industry thing, I'm going to talk in a little bit to the CEO of Aptiv, one of your customers in the auto business, which is certainly in the eye of the storm here with the tariff stuff that we've been talking about.
Oh, he had an accident? Now I just feel like an asshole.
What can ServiceNow
Damn.
do for them? What are the unique sort of
sorry.
challenges that you see?
I don't feel, now I feel like an asshole.
It's
because he's hanging around fucking leather jacket, bro. Leather jacket. The guy next to him is wearing a fucking $100,000 jacket.
So
I have to assume it's for swag.
If things were status quo.
It was like the other day I saw Alex Karp getting yelled at on stage by a protester, and I'm seeing him trying to beef with the protester wearing a $200,000 Patek, and I'm like, damn.
So doing what you always did and getting what you always got is insufficient. Change is in the air. So with regard to Aptiv as an example, as policy changes, geopolitical dislocations hit, you have to have a real-time company. The platform has to be able to change in real time. So if you now need to manage around the tariffs and you need to think about tier 2, tier 3 suppliers signing on new ones, a car has 30,000 parts. If you don't manage the tariff scenario properly, you have to pass on a $10,000 extra price to the consumer. They may or may not be able to handle it. So what do the companies have to do? They have to say, okay, I
don't believe anything he says now about AI.
Perhaps with less revenue and still
if he actually believes that car prices are going to go up $10,000 because of tariffs. And now saying how the AI, that's a flawed reasoning for your AI model then. I don't think you should code your AI to try to figure that out.
But at the same time, they have to think
should figure out the probability of supply chains being affected, but it's a wild conclusion.
Businesses and business processes. So let me give you an example. You could sell a commodity piece of hardware and have a certain margin on it. Let's say you want to go direct to consumer to a new market. You're not going to beat the entrenched competitor, but with AI, I can arbitrage the labor and the service model. AI can figure out how I can sell a service contract and give you 4-hour response.
The China plays have held up all week.
More for. Now
so I took profits on one side earlier, but yeah, they're still there. Dollar General too. Again, it's Power Hour right now, and you've still been up on the UK headline.
A year later, you might be able to make the change. We can make the change on the fly with Nvidia and ServiceNow.
Jensen, there are some companies that are rightfully concerned about OpEx, and then there are some companies like Meta that are upping their CapEx range, by the billions, frankly. And we know a lot of that money is going to be spent on your technology. What is, and you told me around earnings time, you're hearing about these.
Well, apparently he wears the glasses because he has an eye accident.
Going forward, what is
he hurt his eye?
You see
so I was just an uninformed asshole.
These hyperscalers in driving the pace of innovation and frankly the competition to have the power that these early movers need.
But I still don't trust them.
The early hyperscalers realized a very profound insight that they are now intelligence factories. They're intelligence generators. It's not a data center that stores information. It's a factory that produces intelligence. And these intelligence tokens can be reformulated into music, images, words, avatars, recommendations of music, movies, or supply chain optimization.
Well, yeah, of course I'm man enough to admit it. What do you mean? It's not even being man. I would call him a douchebag for wearing sunglasses. I wear sunglasses inside sometimes, and I did make a lot of fucking money. That's what it says, the message of. But if you're wearing it for health reasons, that is a different story. So I'm not judging for that.
But on top of that, it's going to be a multi-trillion-dollar AI factory industry. It's going to require energy, but it's going to generate growth. This is the new insight. Some of the old thinking is, how much of the
Dominion.
old data center capex is going to be used for AI.
Is oil still up 5?
That's interesting.
Oil 3.3, gold up 3%.
There's a new industry in town. It's called AI factories, and they're producing intelligence at scale.
Got to leave it there for now. Bill, thank you. Jensen,
AI
thank
factory.
you.
It sounds like a bot farm.
Join me in
I'll be
overtime.
back. I'll be back, but again, I want to thank you, Jensen. It's an honor to be with you as always, my friend.
I just want to say, I want my service now.
You got it, Jensen. We're going to give it to you. Thank you, Jensen.
Right. Kelly, back to you.
Thank you.
The best.
John Ford, Jensen Wong, Bill McDermott, our thanks. And
Thank you. All right, well, bonds up. Welcome to Power Hour. Market got a little jumpy on Trump's big announcement this Thursday, Friday, Monday. We'll see. And then there was a headline about a UK deal with the United States this week that got reiterated twice in markets. I mean, it's technically up about what, 2 points? It's really not that much, 1.5 since that all came out. And then bonds after the bond auction, that kind of correlated right ahead. We did go lower, but bond auction was very strong. And now you just had ServiceNow, Nvidia pump. I'm speculating that Nvidia is going to be tied to that announcement eventually or something with Saudi and chips. But other than that, you wrap it up. 1 hour left, a couple earnings after the bell. And then you have Jerome Powell tomorrow. Yalla. THC on the high. And then, whoa, what's up with this? HCA and THC. That has to be a buyout, right? Yo, check HCA and THC. HCA and THC, my friends. Some of you are looking at a different THC, you pothead. But yeah, Healthcare of America and THC, two healthcare companies on a day where they're all getting clapped. They're all up there. So watch out for that. Plays are already up like 80%. Ooh, never mind. They already came back down. What is it? I don't have news. So let me double check. Plays are already up, but they're already like lagging the option, so you have time to look if you like it. But let me see. UHS, yeah, I saw that one too. You're right. Something's going on in that land. I hit the wrong one. THC. And then check HCA as well. Nope, I don't have a headline there. Yeah, it's something about hospitals. Check Oscar Health too. That's another one. No, they didn't move. It's just HCL, UHS. Yeah, it's something's going on. I have no idea what it is. Drug supply is vulnerable. I see a Dow Jones one. I'm still checking for the news. You guys could go crazy on the place, but I have no idea what it is. There's just been a lot of fucking pump fakes today. Yeah, Jensen is speaking after hours. You're going to hear him a couple times. Present at healthcare conference. That might be it. Bank of America healthcare conference on May 13th. That's not today. What was the other one? UHS? Yeah, I don't see shit. There is a healthcare conference later. I see price target cut earlier. Nope. Big Medicare cuts. Yeah, there's nothing, dude. All right. But something's happening. Yeah, I don't see anything on this one either. Could be something loosely related. All right. Well, that's still holding up. Good luck if you got it. Some of the plays are still holding. They kind of lagged a little. There's an American Thoracic Society conference. Domino's on the high. What's this? Yo, we got pizza? Bitcoin. Firm, they raised it. Yeah, I don't say anything else, but watch hospitals. Because when this happened with uranium earlier, we got headlines. ACHC up too. They're all going again. Round 2, Hims is running up there as well. And then I don't know if Pizza's going up with it. No, they're down. It's just Domino's. Domino's running as well. It's kind of random. And then SPY coming down a little bit. ACHC, that's another healthcare hospital play. Someone bought 100 calls for Hims. Well, keep the play. You could post big ones, but I don't know how we're going to do that. And that's info, but just be careful for misleading people or influencing them. It's good info, but like I said, it has plays. So we'll figure that out. Man, but Hims just hit 50. That would have been killer in the morning. State Department Rubio spoke with South Korea Foreign Minister Cho. Genie. Yeah, you got a lot of small caps. Remember we were talking about the small caps running? At one point a couple weeks ago, that was like a majority of the volume on the runners. Very weird. U.S. calls for India-Pakistan resolution. No, Hims did good earnings. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the company, but their earnings keeps doing good. And then they reported, then they were down like, 10%, I think, just from like that weird earnings reaction and kind of playing that little game. And then it just ripped from the morning and then went from red to green. And then the earnings were good, just morning reaction was negative. Okay, there's UHS again. I stream alerted it. I didn't take a... Now they're 450ing the plays. Some of them, yeah. Not all of them. So every play is moving different. The ones with more volume or less volume. But people already did do... yeah, there's some debit spreads on there. Senior Canadian government. Trump asked Carney opinion on China, Ukraine, and Russia. The red streak? Well, we're only one. Dude, THC again. And then HCA. They're all going, but certain near the monies are moving. I didn't make a play on any of them. I still don't know what the damn headline is. All I see is Houthi headlines. I don't think they're getting into the hospital biz. Well, yeah, that's running. Again, that's the second time today we saw like these random ass pops. First one was with uranium. So keep that in mind. And China too. VIX been like that all day. VIX has been up no matter what because all of these days we're gapping down and then we're still red no matter what happened. All day, 7 hours today. We have not printed green at all. He came close at one. It was like right barely a gap fill. But I think we did the same thing yesterday, right when we went green or right at the level. Then you just dumped. SPY 31 million in volume. That's what happened yesterday. It was very low. Senior government, Carney and Trump discuss border and fentanyl. So Canada is making comments right now. They're talking about the meeting. Made it free. There's nothing to talk about making free. So please read the new rule changes. Thank you. Zim for the long term? No. That company is very interesting when there's shipping stuff in the world and people get excited about it. But other than that, I wouldn't. I'm not the biggest fan. My 180-day limit on certain long terms. Oh, I don't know what that means, bro. A dollar thing? Well, just in general, I think the euro, dollar, how that plays out. I mean, a lot of people still think that, like, a lot of people on Wall Street are calling for the dollar to keep dying. So make no mistake, some people think the market will hold up a little better, but there are people that believe that the dollar is on a one-way track to weakening. So I don't know if that's confirmed yet, but that is a going narrative right now. Carney getting ready to talk at the embassy. When you place a limit, does it ask you to leave for 180 days? Oh, I don't do that. I just, I have names that I look at. I keep the cash in there. I only put out an order when I'm ready to shoot. It's kind of like a gun. Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. So, yeah, I don't really do that with the long term. And we're just staying pinned here again. You're getting the Carney headlines, but that's it. Other than that, 48 minutes, another day, 7 hours to move. 0.5%, baby. How does it feel? And then Thursday, Friday, or Monday, big announcement. Could the lower dollar hurt other countries or slow them down? Yeah, I mean, it just all depends on these countries actually succeeding. So, like, right now, it's like... It's like when, have you ever had a relationship and then everybody told you to break up with the person, and then right after, and then and they're like, you could do it. Yeah, you don't need them. But then and then after you do it, the first couple months are a little difficult. That's how I feel the global economy is right now. Because everybody's like, you don't need America. You don't need a dollar. You're better than that. You'll do way better. You don't need fucking to sell your goods. Fuck a consumer. You don't need that. You're way better. What has America ever done for you? You don't need a dollar. The dollar needs you, right? So for now, that's where everyone's at. But at the end of the day, it's like you need the euro to actually work. You need Europe and all these places. They need to actually perform if you want this trend to continue. And that's the part everybody's kind of not talking about. You know what I'm saying? Europe has to stimulate, and Europe needs to grow, and they need energy, and it has to work if you're going to try to play this game. And if in that way the dollar would keep going down, right? You need other countries to actually engage in business and thrive off of the dollar, and then the demand for dollars actually goes down, leading it to keep on weakening. Does that make sense? So if you don't get it, it's just if you want the dollar to really keep weakening and you believe that it will, there has to be a continued impetus for people to stop using the dollar. They have to actually stop using it, and they have to start using the euro, the pound, the rupee, and whatever else they think is better. That's at least the midterm to long term of how the dollar stays depreciated. Yeah, someone has to pick up the demand. Exactly. That's all it is. That's why I'm saying I'm not really against the idea. I'm just saying it has to, wherever the demand goes, the demand has to demand. So, but right now, people are still addicted to the dollar. I've always said that. And make no mistake, a lot of people talk shit. Hand them a $100 bill. Give me your $100 bill then. What the fuck? But other than that, in the mid to long term, you need that demand to go to those other currencies. And then, again, that demand will pull away from the dollar, hence adding to more supply and weakening. Ta-da! What I say, hymns, you guys are fucked on hymns, because hymns is terrible, and I think it's the worst company ever. What's up there? But I said this at like $10 or something. I think it was like $15 when I said this. And I said this because, and I told you, I was like, the last time I hated a company, it goes crazy. And I'm like, it's terrible, but it'll go crazy. So I said that at $15. So now we're having the same fucking discussion at 50. I'm out. I don't want to be involved in this shit. You guys are on your own. Yeah, like Carvana. That's what I said. So usually when I'm like, damn, there's no way this thing is actually fucking up, who would buy this? It really goes nuts. So I was well aware of that early on. But unfortunately now you have to hear my negativity and you have to pay 5 times more than that price, or like 3 times more. So honestly, I think this is a fucked up discussion no matter where it goes. Because you guys are going to get pissed no matter what. So, yeah. No, Palantir, I bought Palantir at $10 and I sold it only because I made like $150,000 that year and I needed to sell shit that was down for taxes. So you better put some fucking respect on my name. I showed y'all Palantir. So don't play that whole shit with me. And I think Palantir's a way better company than Hims. So other than that, but this is just a different discussion. This is, like I'm saying, if you even understood my hatred of this company and bought my hatred, you still doubled up. But at this point, I just think it's very late to have this conversation. So Hims, do whatever you want. I'm neutral. I mean, if it doesn't meet my criteria, and it really hasn't for like 3 years, but hey, by all means, this is your life and your decision now. But if you just made your decision earlier, I think you would have been fine. And mine was, I don't want any part of it. Earnings. They had good earnings, and I've objectively told you their earnings are good. I have not played anybody. When those earnings are good, I'll tell you if it's good. And they killed it. They've been killing it. That's what I think they've done very well. I just, I don't put my faith in hair loss because I lost my hair. But then again, you got to go through the cycle. With him, but SoFi didn't do that well though. SoFi was a SPAC though. I don't know if Hims was. MSTR is 3x Bitcoin. Man, MSTR is a crazy one too. We'll see what CEP does. What time is it? 40 minutes left. Bros, that was the one. I never liked them, but they've grown on me. Just because they grew their restaurants. That's what I'm saying. I don't like certain names, but I watch them. I just take in a lot of info. That's what I'm saying. Even, like Hims did really good. But then again, Elf did really good too 2 years ago. And then Bros, I hated Bros in the beginning. You guys were just crackheads. But I really hated Bros in the beginning because everybody was just looking for the next like Starbucks pretty much. But then they started growing their locations, and I was like, you know what? That's looking like a good one. So that's the thing I like. That's but I don't think I have more faith in coffee than I do hair loss. Again, I have no hair, you guys. I have no hair. I do and I don't. I've done through it. But we'll see. And then most people don't even know what Palantir is. We still don't know what it is. CMG Bros does, because the only Only companies that grow locations, those are the ones that are going to go nuts. Lucan. Oh, yeah. That was old. Lucan. That was a fun one. That was back in the day. AMD, that's the big one. They priced in a lot, but I feel like it's been a while since AMD reported. But at this point, I would just be careful with any earnings this quarter. You could try some of them now, but yeah. I think this earnings reactions have been off. Just, it's really, like, you even saw it, Hims. You would have made more money playing Hims this morning. That's what I'm saying. Even Palantir. Palantir, you would have saved your money. I don't even know if the puts would have hit from the morning. I think you could have made more off the AM. That's what I'm saying. That actual, like, bell to bell, when you look at the reporting numbers, it makes 0 sense. It's the worst correlation in 20 years. But then right when the bells open, again, it's opening up red, opening up a certain way, and then by the time it closes, it's a completely different story. So I'm checking Palant. Yeah, look, you made nothing on Palantir, dude. Fucking crazy. Dude. So if you were like in the money and paid the highest ones, you made 50%. Everybody else lost, or you barely got anything on Palant. Or at one point you were up at least 200% for a small window, and then that's it. Meanwhile, you could, like I'm saying, if you kind of played it intraday, you would have, the puts would have just been difficult. But then if you got like Hims, you would have done phenomenal. But you didn't need to play the earnings. You just had to wait. Exactly, and that's the whole point. Both of those stocks, so Palantir and Hims are both very different but very similar. Do you get it? They're both really overvalued. They both have a crazy future update. They both have a cult following. And they both did very good on earnings. One of them's up, one of them's down. It doesn't matter. They had a very similar setup in terms of, you could even try to blame the positioning. It didn't, you can't even fucking explain it with positioning. It just, whatever the fuck happens is going to happen. And yeah, the market just wonky because of all the volatility, but this isn't your typical earnings season. Just, you actually haven't seen anything like this in 25 years. It's pure random. Guidance, well, they did good. Again, Hims had great guidance, and it was down 10% this morning. Now it is up 20%. Palantir guided up by 10, 15%. They are down 12% right now, 11.5%. So they both did good. They both guided up. They both were overvalued to different degrees, but they both had cult followings, and yeah, they needed another blowout because you could have said the same thing about Hims. So they both did good. I think Palantir's was really good. I just think there's a lot involved, and it sucks with the valuations, but then the market and the demand and what's driving stuff, there is just too many moves we've made in the last month or two. All right, I need to go pee. Okay. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter. And I think they're going to coverage.
We're not.
No, we're not. You might be leaving. I'm staying, and a big part of the reason is our next guest coming up at the bottom of the hour.
I think it's going to
Manny Roman, the CEO of PIMCO. We're going to get his thoughts on a wide range of things, the economy, bonds, and everything in between. Don't go anywhere. This is Bloomberg.
All right, I'll wait for my bathroom break.
The president is speaking to this part of our population that we know.
Scary. PIMCO. Dude, Janet Yellen's new boss is going to go on. That's who Emmanuel is. Dude, NTCL, I saw it. I thought it was like a Intel like ETF, but yeah, it's doing one of those things. So good luck. Good luck. What percent of profits Pepsi pays? It's about 78%, I believe. I looked at it yesterday on the watch list. So if you could too, please, if you could watch the watch list in advance too and save us time, I would like it and it would help you out. So next time, please watch the watch list, you guys, if you have access to it. You're on Twitch, so that's why I hope it could motivate you to lock in there. But otherwise, yeah, we did discuss it. You wake up at 2 a.m. I wake up at 4.
All right, we're back on the bell.
Come
Nvidia
on,
CEO Jensen Huang speaking on CNBC within the last hour.
Okay, I'm going to go pee. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity.
Details, Christina.
Real Code News on
Scott,
Twitter.
well, Nvidia and ServiceNow announcing today a
high.
new partnership to develop AI agents, sophisticated digital assistants. But Nvidia's CEO Jensen Huang really faced a few questions about export control pressures. Here's his response.
We're not afraid of a race. We look forward to a race. Just let us go race. Waiting around, talking about it, trying to hold other people back, is not necessarily the best move. The best move is let Americans do American. Let us go after it and win it.
And he's implying not being able to move forward with China. Jensen also said China's AI market will probably be worth $50 billion in 2 to 3 years, and it would be a tremendous loss not to address it. Meanwhile, AMD reporting today, their earnings come out just in 30 minutes or so. AMD's China-related challenges also continue. Expectations point to a quarterly beat from traditional servers and PC sales, especially some pull-ins like we saw with Intel just a few weeks ago. But analysts at Bank of America and Morgan Stanley project revenue impact of exceeding $1 billion due to that China AI exposure in 2025. This drop in AI revenues puts critical pressure on the success of AMD's upcoming MI350 chip, as well as the MI400 chips. These are AI chips to really compensate from that loss coming from the loss of revenue from China. Lastly, Supermicro reports today after the bell they already pre-announced just last week, they attributed nearly $1 billion in delay sales to, quote, postpone past platform decisions, but market sentiment suggests Supermicro may be losing share to Dell and Taiwanese companies, as well as customers really navigate choices between Nvidia's GPU architecture, which is a critical concern for Supermicro, with 70% of its revenue coming from AI servers. So a lot with Supermicro, but shares are up about 8% this year and 3% today. Scott.
All right, Christina, thank you. Christina Partsenevelos. Now let's bring in the top chip analyst, Stacy Rasgon of Bernstein Research. Good to have you, especially after hearing from Jensen Huang, which is rare in and of itself, obviously. What do you make of what he said about looking at China as a $50 billion AI market in 2 to 3 years or so, and sort of contemplating the idea of not being able to play in it?
Yeah, he's not wrong. It would be a real shame if they're not allowed to compete there, because China is going to do it anyways. They have chips, local chips, that are competitive on their own. And I mean, I made this point when the H20 ban hit a couple of weeks ago. We've effectively, if they hold it, we're effectively just handing the entire AI market in China over to Huawei by not allowing Nvidia to compete there, because they're going to do it anyways. So yeah, I'm 100% behind what Jensen had to say. Absolutely.
I mean, a real shame isn't an earnings technical term. So put that in perspective for me, right? Even as it may appear today to be such an outlier perspective, to think that they're not going to be able
agreed to have discussion in coming weeks and meetings.
In some respects, let's
discussions were very constructive.
Today say, well, what?
So I think Canada, is he live right now? But Carney comments are coming out as positive. Agreed to have discussions in coming weeks and meetings at G7. Said wide range of discussion, and then discussions were very constructive. Again, you already heard him. We saw him earlier. He said a couple of things, and then Trump just yelled at everyone. But other than that, good time, yeah. Mike Connie. Oh, gosh.
Abroad, including the United
Terrible
States.
audio.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much, and I look forward to
your merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now begin the press conference.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Did you want to say more than you said?
Good afternoon, Prime Minister.
Do you still hate Americans?
I was watching.
Do you feel good that he didn't call you a governor?
And I wondered what was going through your mind when the president talked about erasing the artificial border and how he criticized your predecessor and Madam Freeland.
Thank you for your question. I'm glad that you couldn't tell what was going through my mind as that was going through. With respect to the first point, the president has made known his wish.
If I had one wish.
For some time. I've been careful always to distinguish between wish and reality. I was clear there in the Oval Office, as I've been clear throughout on behalf of Canadians, that this is never going to happen. Canada is not for sale. It never will be for sale. Some things, as I said in the room, some things are never for sale. And he agreed with that. I distinguish between the two. And then with respect to the importance of reestablishing a constructive relationship for negotiations of a partnership, of an economic and security partnership, which is what we were here for. I look forward, not back, and I think we established a good basis today.
Good.
What
good
gives
answer.
You specifically any indication that the president is willing to renegotiate a new trade deal with you and drop tariffs?
Apart from the fact that he said that he would, is willing to have that negotiation, I think that's the main thing. That doesn't presuppose the outcome of the negotiation. As I've emphasized, it's a complex negotiation. There'll be zigs and zags, difficult aspects to it. But the prospect is there. We discussed it in more detail. And as I said a moment ago, we'll be following up, both between officials, but also he and I in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Bon, sorry, no, we're going to stay on the line. Thank you. Thank you.
Bonjour, Monsieur Carney.
Bonjour, Madame.
Avec quoi ressortez-vous concrètement de cette rencontre avec Monsieur Trump?
Ouais, nous avons eu une discussion à travers des sujets géopolitiques et des sujets et des enjeux qui impliquent les relations commerciales du Canada et des États-Unis. Nous avons un trajet concret.
Are those hospital plays still going? Disney, there's earnings today. I'm over this earnings season already. I think I whiffed. I went 0 for 2 on both of the ones. There's 3. But even then, there were some post earnings that did decent, but that's it. I don't think, and then AMD, the king of cucks, but that might eventually pop one of these days.
Et une volonté qui existe entre les deux pays d'avancer les discussions. Mais il n'y a pas de décision sur n'importe quel tarif.
Quand il a été question, quand on a posé la question à M. Trump sur les tarifs, s'il avait l'intention, si vous pouviez faire quelque chose pour les lever, pour les supprimer, il a dit non. Comment est-ce que vous l'interprétez?
Ce n'était pas une surprise pour moi. Pas du tout. Non, pas du tout. Parce qu'il n'y a...
He said, please, get a long term. Stop, please. He said it's a complex situation in the market. If you don't average down, then you can't ever get a lower price. But the divvies will pay out. And the answer is buy securities at a good price, not at a high price. He says, all these people keep paying more. You need to take initiative at the lows. And it'll be a good situation. And you got to look at your whole portfolio as a whole. Yeah, I agree. She asked him if she could sell the lawn term. He said, no, stop with that whole shit. He said it a little nicer, but yeah. He said, you already know the rules. He said, come on, that's not necessary. Stop playing.
Smith from The Logic. At one point during the meeting in the Oval Office, the president, when talking about the tariffs and talking about a deal, also made very clear that when it comes to autos, his goal is to have car makers make them in the U.S. and for the tariffs to make any economic sense made in Canada.
Oh, it's been up all day, though. But yeah, you only got 24 minutes.
Tariffs on autos at any point. And what
My French is better, thank you. I call it vibe translation. It's like vibe coding, but you just translate off the vibes. Apparently, I do it very well.
And specifically, without going into the full details, the strategic position of the North American auto industry, or more specifically the Canadian-U.S. auto industry, versus foreign competition, including from Asia, and how that could be enhanced. I and the Canadian government, and I would say the Canadian auto industry, I would actually say the auto industry as a whole, is of the view that Canadian auto workers, Canadian auto companies, Canadian parts companies, Canadian steel, Canadian aluminum, all play an important role in enhancing the competitiveness of American auto companies. So we will continue to press that case and look for an arrangement that takes full advantage of it for the benefit of the United States, but of course, from our perspective, very much for the benefit of Canada.
And what did he ask you about China in your closed-door meetings, and what did you tell him?
That's why they're closed door. Well, yeah. We had a wide range of
See, Trump is like, stupid, why would you ask that? Stupid media. Oh, he's getting mad. He's like, Josh, why aren't you posting the plays anymore? How am I supposed to post the play if you said this? I thought it's called Stock Market Live. How come I can't post the play? He said, because you are a crackhead and you didn't post the plays or the information, and you could see the people that did post the plays and showed love, they didn't need it regardless. So to keep the honor of the Chad and not for you to be a loser, we must all make a comprehensive long-term and not be an idiot. And you'll make $1 million. Yeah, and stop crying. And Josh is the best at the Fed, but we don't have to negotiate because the long term doesn't need that. So you could have a process and you could stop the short term and build the long term little by little, and it'll be guaranteed success. And that's how you should negotiate with Josh. Interesting.
In English, to summarize.
Oh, he's going to summarize.
Negotiation.
No, don't summarize it.
Little elements of it. You get an end to
we don't need the translation, sir. No, you don't need to. Just no. Move. Next question. Next question. In summary. What do you mean in summary in English? I just gave him in summary in English.
Because of the nature of the negotiation, so you don't expect to have specific progress.
Oh, I guess I was reading something else. That's weird. I guess I was off. My bad.
That's why it's a global negotiation.
Parlant de l'Alberta, que pensez-vous de l'idée de Daniel Smith d'encourager la tenue d'un référendum sur la souveraineté de l'Alberta?
Le Canada est plus fort que quand nous travaillons ensemble comme Canadiens et Canadiens. Et je suis albertain. Et je crois fièrement en Canada. Alors, on peut poser les questions, mais pour moi, la réponse est claire. Canada's stronger when we work together. As an Albertan, I firmly believe that you can always ask a question, but I know what I would respond clearly.
Prochaine question. Next question.
Bonjour, M. Carney, Olivier Ferrand-Boissé de TVA. Est-ce que M. Trump vous a convaincu qu'il voulait bel et bien renégocier l'accord de libre-échange parce que ça semblait pas clair?
Yo, read the YouTube translation. Even the YouTube tries to translate it like me. It said Trump ADHD, please fire. So watch. Can heal your hand away. Even the YouTube trying. Lena, okay.
Vous aviez dit à plusieurs reprises que
without you, that picture, please go so long. Who miss you, Trump?
Est-ce que c'est encore votre lecture de ses intentions après votre rencontre d'aujourd'hui?
Je crois qu'il.
I prevail. Newsom 4.
Nous sommes forts. Le Canada devient de plus en plus fort.
Nvidia the blues on the 4.
Semaine avec le nouveau gouvernement. Alors,
I have no idea what he's saying, dude. But that's the YouTube closed captions, bro.
Prochaine question. Next question.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister. JP Tasker, CBC News. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, JP. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Do you feel better or worse about Canada-U.S. relations after meeting with the president today?
It was a very constructive meeting. I feel better about the relations in the sense of, in many respects, one.
He practiced this question.
The posture, if I can put it that way, or the positioning.
Which stocks would you sell for? I'd sell the ones you don't want.
Secondly,
the ones you know you would never add to, and then just start. You could trim everything equal after that, or go with the ones that if you have more faith in it, hold it, and then see if you could get enough selling everything else.
Find solutions as opposed to laying down terms, if you will. So feel better about that. And I would add one other thing. Which maybe isn't as obvious, so I should say it, which is that we also discussed a number of issues globally, geostrategically, if I can put it that way, where we have common interests, common concerns, and that, of course, is a sign of a broader and very healthy, or a healthy relationship. Look, we have, JP, we have a lot more work to do. I'm not trying to suggest, at any respect, that we can have one meeting and everything's changed, but now we are engaged. And very fully engaged.
So good, but don't get too
Prime
excited.
Minister Ashley Burke, CBC News. What specifically did you say
Oh,
to
no
President
way.
Trump about lifting
The DEA? That's just the DEA, not cops, right?
What do you think it would
The DEA ends body cam program after 4 years.
I can't answer the second.
Cops have been doing. It's not. That's not the police officers. That's just DEA. So not if they ended the cop contract, that's terrible.
In a number of areas where we think the tariffs should be lifted. And specifically, I'll give an example with respect to the scourge of fentanyl and the considerable efforts that have been made at our border and behind the border in terms of raids as well. Huge investments in border personnel, in drone surveillance, Black Hawk surveillance, and then those are being reinforced.
Axon is the one that sells them. That's why I put it up there.
During the campaign, commitments to another 2,000.
Yeah, internal email obtained by ProPublica, just the DEA.
CBSA, another 1,000 RCMP, further efforts there. And what we're seeing is huge results for this. Canada's contribution to this problem, cross-border problem, was always very small, but it's down by over 90%. With the efforts, and it is an absolute focus of the government. So that is an example of where we would see the case being very strong for the tariffs to be removed. We've made that case. We'll see where that goes. In other areas, the tariffs are, in our view, not in the interests of America.
No, they're not changing it for cops,
jobs.
just DEA.
We have more work to do on making those cases on that. Thank you. Pardon? Sur le fentanyl, alors, nous avons fait beaucoup de progrès.
Ackman tweet about Trump and tariffs, and then multiple explosions heard in Pakistan.
On a commencé avec un niveau très bas par rapport au Mexique, c'est moins de 1%, mais il y avait une chute le niveau, le montant de fentanyl.
Well, Ackman says, what if Trump were to announce China tariffs would be reduced to 20, and then escalate by 0.5 per month for the next 12 months, and then 1% for the next 12 months, and then 1.5% for the next 12 months. That China modifies, the increases could stop and be reversed depending on the degree. This would incentivize companies to relocate. So he's just tweeting tariff ideas at Trump. Okay. So the Nike contracts are under pressure again? Dude, do you know he has apparently?
Last question and follow-up.
I think he has 10% of his assets in an option. It's kind of wicked.
I heard you say.
So I don't know. He might be kind of crashing out, but hey, I hope it works. I like Nike, but not that much. I just don't have that much. But still, I don't. If I did, I don't think I would. But maybe that's why I don't have it.
Angered by the fact that he keeps repeating this comment. So, have you asked the president to stop calling Canada the 51st state?
Yes. Today.
Okay, specifically, what did you ask him?
Exactly what you just said.
But what words did you use? How did you ask?
Look, I gave you an answer. Do you have
Twitch, I'm only going to give this to you.
No. What was his answer?
Well, we'll look. I don't know. He's the president. He's his own person. I would go back to showing the difference between a wish and a reality. We're very clear. I've been very clear publicly, consistently. I've been very clear in private. I was clear again in the Oval Office. would be clear throughout.
Sorry, I had to tell the Twitch something, you guys. They didn't.
He understands that we're having a negotiation between sovereign nations, and that we will only pursue and accept a deal that's in the best interest
I'm just saying,
of Canada.
if my girlfriend
Not
did
just
that
in
to
the
me,
short
I would have
term,
broke.
but in the
She's not my
medium and long
girlfriend.
term for Canada.
I'm just saying, that type of, I didn't like that energy. Jeez. He
J'ai
answered
dit,
you,
c'est
lady.
pas inutile de répéter cette idée. Je l'ai dit à lui, et, mais il est le président, il va dire ce qu'il veut. Pas. Mais il y a une
Carney held unexercised stock options in Brookfield Asset Management,
This will be
valued
the
at
last question.
$6
Sorry,
million.
just last
No,
question. Steph didn't take his
6.8.
follow-up. So last question, please. Thank you.
Nice.
Paul Monger from the Wall Street Journal. Given what's happened with the USMCA,
I didn't know that. He's balling, bro. He was the central bank guy. So yeah,
we'll make that determination over the course of the negotiations. I mean, that's the.
This guy's just as invested as you are in the trade relation market.
It's a process. You see, and I would emphasize
you got more
the
to
following,
lose than
which
you,
is
dog.
that,
What are you talking about?
We have been in the process, as most would know, of an election, and so this is the point at which a serious discussion begins. And so we had the president at his invitation. I'm here. He welcomed us. We had a very substantial
WRD, 180 highs, Robinhood, GXO, Gold, Duolingo. All right, you're approaching 10-minute rig, bonds, and a couple of other names, even chips, Nvidia. They're all running. We had an accent headline, but no real reaction. Calling it a serious discussion.
I hope so. And we have some very specific things to follow up on.
Yeah, there's an attack in Pakistan too right now.
And in any
there's
negotiation,
some reports of
then you
explosions.
make a determination based on that. It also, part of what you make a determination based on is
Scott
are the
Bessent.
incentives aligned.
What do you mean? Scott Bessent has it all.
That you get.
He's smart, level-headed, conservatives. He's gay. This guy, what do you mean, bro? Are you kidding me? Scott Bessent is going to be the next president. This guy is too clean, bro. They love Scott everywhere he goes, bro. Everywhere he goes, bro.
Prime Minister, this was the next press conference. Is qui met fin à notre conférence
No,
de presse.
he's actually gay. I didn't mean that offensively. I think it's actually one of his advantages that, yeah, you guys didn't. He's the first gay treasurer. Yes. I know you thought Donald Trump is a dictator, but yes, Donald Trump is responsible for putting the first ever gay treasurer in America. That is Scott Bessent. Yes. If you did not know that, I was not calling him that out of anything other than being accurately spoken. But yeah, I think people love Bessent, bro. We saw it today. We talked about it, but I think that's your new president guy. If anyone's going to run, bro, I think Bessent, you know, he might just stay the treasurer. I think if a Democrat wins the next election, they might even keep Bessent just because of depending on how well he does. Maybe we're judging him a little too early, but for now, though, Bessent is everywhere around the world. Nobody doesn't like Bessent. You may not like Trump, but Bessent has found a way to kind of be in everybody's good graces for now. So we'll see. Yeah, especially compared to Yellen. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. All right, Big Red here at 10-minute rig, so welcome. All right. Yeah, he has great hair too. I just thought we'd throw that in there. That's factual, bro. He does. He has a great hairline. You know that? No, so honestly, everything's going great for him. You know, and he's the adult in the room is his nickname so far. Apple, Red, Tesla, Nvidia, everything, bro. The whole spot. And then gold is ripping. Meanwhile, remember, this was even like lightweight, and just like we talked about today, we went up for God knows what, so you could drop for God knows what. There was headlines here, and then we had the Trump pump fakes, but that's it. Other than that, Jerome Powell tomorrow. I'll have a breakdown tonight on the watch list for you, but you don't have to worry too much for tomorrow. I'm telling you, there could be surprises, and if there is, we'll respond to it live. But you got to realize right now the rates and the pricing in of tomorrow, it's there. Unless Powell brings up something new, that's all we care about. But if Powell pulls out the same old card, I would just get ready, man. But we'll have fun. I think this will be the place to be tomorrow. So I will see you guys there, and I hope you get a long term. Amen. Amen. Ooh, sweet greens. Oh. Is it cheaper? Holy fuck. No, when did I tell you guys about sweet greens? It was at 31. It's cheaper now. Oh, I'm looking at this saying, yeah, wrong ticker. Fuck. Oh, I was about to buy that shit. No, it's cheap. Yeah, because remember when I discovered sweet greens, it was at $9 when I first ate it. And I was like, oh my God, I love this place. So yeah, we still need it cheaper. But yeah, they're down 8% today. The VIX been up all day, both 2 days in a row. You have gold up 5% and you have the VIX up, I think, 7 or 8%. So good luck. That was SLP, I think. Yeah. Simulations Plus. I have no idea what that was. But SG was the one I wanted. MMC. All right, well, I'd start wrapping up your plays. I don't think it's just going to be about Powell earnings. I think you might be better off afterwards, but you have AMD and is it ARM? But you have a couple of others, but even then, if it's already pricing more than 10, you better hope luck is on your side. But other than that, I'd get ready. Not much in terms of events except Powell. You do get Scott Besson again tomorrow. They're saying UK trade deal, but other than that, you're probably not going to hear about China this week. And then I would, end of the week, we have an announcement eventually. So we will see. Oh, kind of picking up here at Final 5, but it's just Final 5. Meanwhile, gold, bro, that's crazy. Dude, this is the last couple of days, because remember, the market went down, and look it. We were talking about that break of gold with the euro, but now I don't even think the currencies changed that much. So, yeah, I mean, that's where people are talking about China. But gold is going through the roof, but this time, let me throw up, I don't think the euro has advanced. Yeah, look. Because remember when I showed you guys the chart, because I think gold is going to depend on the euro. But now if it goes without it, that's only a portion of gold. But yeah, not every currency moved. That gold move is kind of in its own little league. The pound got up a little bit more. But yeah, nothing else. You see what I'm saying? Nothing like strengthened or weakened enough. But now, again, that just went from dropping with all the other currencies to now gold is in its own little world. Oh, I guess you could say the yen. Yeah. Other than that, if gold keeps breaking, that means gold might be leading another move. AKA, if gold starts looking different than all the other currencies, that means the currencies are going to make a massive move to reset down the line. I don't know when, though. I'm just saying, this is just odd. And I think you could see it on the gap ups, but this last 48 hours of gold just broke trend with every other currency in the world. Brazil farmers expand soybean planting area by 500,000 hectares. Honestly, Sauce Boy, the amount of times in your chat facts you mention balls is disgusting. I don't ever want to see you again in the chat. I mean that respectfully. You know, maybe clean up the name and the attitude, but it's not even like, if you were Scott Besson, I'd have more respect. You know, I love Scott Besson, actually. I admire the dude. But that is weird. That's just too much for me. So good luck with AMD, though, today. I hope it works out. And above all else, the long-term strategy will beat the whole entire world, you guys. So get a long-term. Amen. I was just going through the chat facts, and he didn't. That wasn't the only play he described like that. That's why I'm like, you know. I think NVO is part of the bioterrorists today. They all did. Every single one of them got murdered. Every healthcare play. It was a big amount, too. And then watch China plays. I took some profits on them. Then they came down, but the premiums are still holding. And then Boeing's still going up, too. Major announcement after the 8th ahead of Middle East. So you should take bets now. But I think it's going to be chips in Saudi, because I remember hearing that a while ago. But that was, oh my gosh, we have no time. Wrap up your earnings, baby. Oh, Chadadonia. Well, wrap it up. God bless you. Protect your ears. I'm already yelling. I'm going to get louder, but that's it. Make your earnings mind up. I will see you tomorrow for Powell. You only have 1 minute. Go, 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 go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, it's time to wrap it up. Bring it home. Finalize those plays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. The market, end of the day dump is typical, but it's all Powell mode now. So get ready. I think where we close in the opening, they might be a little bit of a point for tomorrow, but other than that, it's about Powell. You'll get a little bit of earnings. No major companies to add too much of a drag. Watch for Mag 7. We'll see where the trade deals in China. And 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Ding 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 ding. Horna. Let's go, baby. Oh, Chadadonia. Are you kidding me? It's already Tuesday. Tuesday over and in the books. Oh, I need a GG in the chat, baby. Let's go. Come on. The earnings will be out any minute. Even then, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be different by the bell if you haven't noticed. So good game, baby. Don't matter if you made money or lost money. You learned something. Everybody that contributed brought something to the table. Plays, news, vibes, personalities, info. Way to hold it down. Way to not get banned, and I appreciate it. So thank you. All the rule changes, everything else, man. God bless y'all if you've been riding, man. And God bless the long term, baby. We got a long mission, and by the end of the year, it'll look different, baby. Okay, first set of earnings coming out. You can see it on the wire, but I see you too, Twitch. And good game, and good evening, and good afternoon, and I'll see you for a good morning, baby. That's it. Amen. And for real, man, y'all don't know my members, everybody, thank you, for real. You ain't have to. That's it. In the long term, $3.99. Stop playing with me. Good game.
up, they don't mean a
Save
lot.
and get a
No
long term.
money on
Thank you.
stocks, I can show you the
Good
top.
game,
Every
baby.
bottom I
GG,
pop,
bro.
put
Good
the key
game.
in the lock. Don't believe me, just watch. Use my freedom a lot.
Need me to rock. You won't see me a lot. Monday through Friday, you need me, let's talk. Who?
2020, baby. Yeah.
Got the color, got the pull, I can make the money both ways. Always. How come about the whole chain? Go away.
Got a lot of love and throwing no shit. No games, small change.
I'll wait for some of the earnings.
Probably trading stats where used to let the snore.
I wanna go to
morning scoring. I'm just bringing more in. Hissing the DeLorean, sourcing. You could throw your own in. Drop it like a bow when you holding. I'm shorting. Skinny motherfucker, but I'm eating, seeking, scheming. I get paid for sleeping, dreaming. Hating for no reason, you a demon. Leeching, heating. Wishing you could be me, ain't easy. I told you I'ma do this, don't forget this shit a marathon. You make a move but stay in the same place, your West a Peloton. Make 100 off a phone call, now that's a telethon. Benjamin's, Jefferson, YOLO to a ghetto spread. Yeah, you know I've been that. Who's been like a Trinidad? I'm moving like a president, can kill me like a Kennedy. I'm trying to be a better me, but they just keep on tempting me. Release the demon, set him free, he come back, bring me 50 G's. Nowadays it's hella smoke, your game like I'm from Babylon. My capital got stamina, I wrap it up in lemon. Talking in new blabbering, but I'm not understanding, bro. You hating and complaining, but you still watching the channel, bro. I do this for the real ones, but the hate is still involved. I just closed another building, I'ma give it to my bros. It just took a little patience and it took a little hope. Yeah, the faith is never wasted if you reaching for a goal. Do this for the real ones, but the hate is still involved. I just closed another building, I'ma give it to my bros. It just took a little patience and it took a little hope. Yeah, the faith is never wasted if you reaching for a goal. I'm just tryna taste some, so let me taste. I'm just tryna eat some, so let me eat. I woke up in beast mode. It's still
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna see you guys. Are you ready? I don't know when it comes in. You could blame Mr. your friend in the Chad, but I don't know if I should tell you guys. Rivian, they had earnings. They're out. They said, what? Jeff Bezos gave us $20 billion. Gen Digital, KLIC, Open Doors out. Again, I think Rivian's out. They're up by 2.8. It just sucks that none of these are going to hold up after fucking 30 minutes. Purple is out. FTK. Say wait for it. No, I don't. None of these earnings. A-Lab. I just want AMD and then the other one. Tempest was good. India, yeah, I told you guys that earlier. Reuters is dropping it now, but yeah, those comments came in a little bit like before the bell. I used to trade a lot after hours on some of the earnings. We used to just hit them, but it's just if it's easy. Watch. I mean, maybe by the end of this year, you'll see it again. But this earnings hasn't been like, dude, every play, I swear, someone was like, the other one's up, and then it's down, and then it's up, and then it's down, and then even by the end of the conference and where we open up by the bell, I mean, you might be in a whole different world. I think Unity. I care. NVO, I think, is going to be the biggest one. I mean, I own it, but yeah, big fan. Redfin's already bought out, so that's just going to turn into Archite. But yeah, now we just wait for the other one. Oh, wait, I think it'll be tomorrow. No, so like tomorrow, okay, by Thursday. Hold on. Orders. Yeah, tomorrow by 10 p.m. Are you ready? Premium does need to reset a little bit. I think even then, options have slowed down a little as well. Last 2 weeks, I haven't done as well. We still got a couple hitters, but nowhere near the same frequency. But then again, we've been kind of choppy, at least the last couple days near the highs. There's been some great individual hits, but it's not the same frequency. But this is what I was going to tell. Oh, Win. Oh, they missed. I like Win, though. Yeah, I thought they beat. EPS missed by a lot. And then revenue missed by 500 million. Or 50 million. Fed's going to be at 2 p.m. and 2:30. 2 p.m. for the statement. 2:30 for the release of Jerome Powell. Upstart. Ooh, what happened to SMCI, bro? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not on schedule, dog. They already reported, bro. Wait, what? Didn't they already report? Or what am I tripping on right now? Then what was that last week? Oh, they just gave the guidance update then on that one client. So they already pre-reported, yeah. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, they did. Something just came out. But I think the market should have been aware. That's what I'm saying. None of this makes any sense, too. I'm sure there's something new, but then again, we are in a market where some things you would think would be priced in, it'll move, and then the next day it'll be back to normal. Ask Berkshire Hathaway. Okay. But I think Thursday, because tomorrow's Wednesday. But I may sound different, you guys. So you know how you guys kept telling me about my voice and to buy me tea? I may sound different by Thursday. I didn't get the surgery, but I did get a new mic. That's it. We're going back in time. I'm going to see if I still sound like a child again. Oh, get ready. I got a new microphone. So we'll see when I plug it in. I have to adjust it. But it may sound very different. I never really thought about it, but we'll see. Oh, Lucid came out. Like, we sold 10 cars this year. Lucid, still multi-billion-dollar company. Oh, I'm a business. Shukran, Habibi. The off market. Well, I'll check them after the bell. That's just kind of been the policy lately. So you're going to have to give me a second. But then I got to hit the gym today now, too. Oh, some GK Chesterton. I think it's going to sound good. Because I never really realized it, but the first mic that I had was amazing. It really was. I think it was great for my voice. And then I bought this, like, podcaster-ass mic. And it's not for me. So I'm actually really excited, bro. I'm really, really excited. So that's why you guys are like, your voice sounded deep. I kind of do have a deep voice. This mic kind of, I don't know what this mic makes me sound like. Makes me sound like, I'm just going to hold back. But other than that, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I got the Britney Spears mic, yeah. So I have the little power pack, and then I have the little thing next to my ear. I'm already practicing my choreography for the mornings. I have a new dance I'm going to do. So then that way I could say the news while doing my dance set. And that way I could go over the morning routine with it's going to be perfect, bro. It's going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is AMD not? I forgot. I was like, why am I still here? I'm like, I need to go, bro. Yeah, so I'm on the Shure SM7 right now, the SM7B. I'm going to move back to a Rode. I got a better one. So it's not one of the ones that you sent me, but I got a better one. But it's a large condenser microphone from back to Rode. Yeah, I like the Rode. The Rode, though, it was a little like, it could get like choppy. Like, I don't know, like if you have to tune it the right way. But That was a good mic. I don't know. I like this mic too, but I think this mic is more, after hearing some of them, like, holy shit, like this mic is just for like a good bass line and like for most vocal patterns, but I think, I don't know, it's going to be cool. I want to see how it's going to sound. We'll see. I need to like tweak it. We got to tweak it. Yeah, the Rhodes are not forgiving at all. They're not. If you don't have it tuned the right way, or depending on what level, that's what would get rough with the other one. I use a compressor on OBS just because I scream. That's it. Like, too, if I never yelled, that would also be a lot easier. Because, like, do you guys realize how loud I get sometimes? I'm sure you do. So, yeah, we'll see. Pakistan will respond to any attacks by India. Military spokesperson tells army. Thank you for your time, man. And I hope you have a long term, man. I can't wait. Another day, another long term. Another decade, another crib. Oh, I hope they feel me. The NT1, it's different. It's different. We'll see. I don't want to tell you guys, because what if it sucks and I have to return it? I have the other Rode, and I think I have an NT1A, and it just doesn't work anymore. I plug it in, and it won't power up. I have it on my desk, and I plug it in, and it never works anymore. I don't know what happened. Ever since I stopped using it, it just won't work. So it's kind of sad. Today is chest and triceps. And I am working out lower back a lot. I have to, my lower back, I've been doing more back extensions, like rows on the low end. But my low back is weak. But chest and tris, I'm going to throw in a little bit of abs. Okay, is AMD, where is this? Lisa Sue, where are you? No news on the bomb. I mean, they said India, they heard explosions, and Pakistan is saying they'll respond to India, but that's about it. Unless you're talking about some other bombing. But that's all we know about as of late. And you're off, AMD. So EPS 44 cents. Let me just see the numbers. I had all that time and I didn't even get the preview. That's how uninterested I am. Oh, yeah. Okay, so revenue, they killed it. 7.4 versus 7.12. So it's even on the high end of the highest estimate. Revenue's on the tippy top, which is good. Net 709 million. I don't know where that stacks up on the net. EPS 44 cents. Can I get an adjusted? 96. Estimate was 94. Margin gross 50. Non-GAAP was expected to be 53, so I need to check that. But it looks like a beat, top and bottom line, slightly, and then the revenue is on the tight end. Gross margin, I need to check their non-GAAP gross margin. Hey, they gave me a different one there. I don't know about that, but it seems good. Do you have non-GAAP gross margin? I saw the gross margin, but my estimate only shows non-GAAP because I'm not a bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I only have non-GAAP estimates. Oh, what, Bloomberg? Huh? Anyways, but I guess we don't do that in the chip world. Q2 non-GAAP 43 estimate. That's low. Yeah, my estimate's 53. That's really bad. So let's see if they I don't think they'll respond to that. There might be something, but my non-GAAP gross margin next quarter is supposed to be 54.5. And then 54 for this quarter, 53.9. I don't know if they give guidance. They gave a Q2. I'm waiting for the easy numbers. If you click on it, it'll show up. You got to read the 8K if you're into that. Not bad. It's up 4, but I know I think they're pricing in like 10. Yeah, revenue 7. They killed it on revenue. And then that was even on the top end. They beat EPS. No, gross margin was 50. So on the quarter, they beat gross margin. I don't see the the guidance. Data center was 3.7 billion, up 57% year over year. I want to say that was beat. And then embedded segment was down. Client gaming was 2.9. Current outlook. Okay, I have guidance. 7.4 for next quarter. I'm reading the fucking 8K, you guys. I hate you. You know that? I don't want to read this. I just want to fucking lift. You know that? Just want to lift, bro. Just lift. Well, let me get the other preview up. Yeah, it's not bad, though. It seems like they did in line, or better, slightly better. So 722, they guided 74. So yeah, they guided up 200 more for next quarter, plus or minus 300. So that would take them to the low end. The plus or minus 300 guidance is in line, a little higher, a little lower. So that's probably what's bad. Non-gap, the non-gap is 43%. That's terrible. That's very low. Like I was saying, that's the one El Coyote had. And that's because of an 800 million charge off. And the call's at 5. Yeah. So they beat the revenue, a little lower on the low end for next quarter and a little higher. Very bad gross margin estimate, but there's a 800 million charge off. I don't know where the EPS guide is. And then they beat top and bottom line on this quarter. So it's good. Wasn't bad, wasn't terrible. Everything still in line from the last quarter, maybe a little worse. I don't say anything about tariff impacts. There's that thing I was telling you about, the inventory. So something about, yeah, that's what it is. So their gross margin, they're pretty much blaming tariffs for gross margin guidance. But that gross margin guidance is terrible. But it is, they're giving a reason. And if Wall Street likes it, then there you go. They beat by 200 million on data centers. That's it, unless they guide and give good guidance there, or I don't know. If it's going to run, it's just going to be on whatever, but I think slightly good earnings, it's better than worse, but there was both good and bad in that, and then, you know, they've been on a wild ride as of late. Oh, so Chattadonia, do you guys know why I have to get to the gym so soon? Because if I wait any longer, the soreness from yesterday starts to kick in. So my plan is to abuse my body before it has time to realize it's been abused. So that's a little pro tip for you. Okay? That's all you got to do. No, that's all you got to know. It's because I go, by the time I finish early, you know what I'm saying? Like 24 hours, that's like usually when the soreness sets in. So now I'm still fresh, bro. I'm still on, like, my body hasn't realized I was doing back biceps yesterday. So that's why I'm going to hit chest triceps by the time my body realizes. And then by the time I come home dead, and then I'll be on the Watchlist, I'll be like, hey, guys, what's up? How are you? And then, yeah, that's how you do it. So that's the plan. So on that note, Chad, no time to waste. So God bless you. God bless America. Oh, wait, hold on. The Chad said he wanted a lab. I'll get that for you before I go. But again, I do. Sadly, I just think a lot of these earnings don't matter. Even last week, we have to get to the point of, it has to get to that point where it's going to hold up. Their EPS was 33 versus 28, and revenue was 159.4 versus 153. So they beat top and bottom line. I don't know guidance, but yeah. Odd. You had the Pakistan explosion before the Twitter. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. I didn't think sometimes I get headlines like that. You'd be surprised the shit I don't read. But sometimes it's not the most important. It's sad for them. That's not really market related. But yeah, that one, I don't know how. We read that like 10, 20 minutes before the bell. And then now it's all circulating, but we'll see. There's a lot. I'm getting a lot of headlines. Armed Forces launched Operation Sindoor. But either way, you want ANET? Man, I want to go home. No, I'm kidding. I got you, bro. Because now that's the thing. If I wait like 5 minutes, my computer will do it all. So I don't have to fucking, like, when it's early and if I have to get it in the first seconds, I got to, like, read shit and do all that. Fuck that. So ANET, 1.69 billion versus 165. Non-GAAP gross margin, 641 versus 633. And non-GAAP operating, 478 versus 443. So beat on everything, top, bottom line, and margin. Actually, I don't have EPS on ANET. Oddly enough. EPS was 65 cents adjusted. So, yeah, they killed it. Anybody else? Any last ones? If you want any earnings, this is your moment to ask. And then if you're asking me for earnings, can I ask you to go to the gym today? How about that? Is that a fair trade? So if I stayed a little less, if I gave you my gym time for your stocks, you should give your body some physical activity today. NVO's tomorrow morning, I'm pretty sure. Tem raised the guidance. I still don't have the easy one yet. Tem AI sees positive adjusted EBITDA of 5 million. Revenue increase 1,552 million on revenue. First quarter was 255, 40-cent loss per share. They lost 4 cents less than expected, and then revenue beat by almost 10 million on Tempest. Lucid, I searched for Lucid earlier. All that loaded up was the 1999 user manual for a Lincoln Town Car. I couldn't find anything else. And then I clicked on the link and it sent me to Saudi.UAE. And I was like, what? This makes no sense. And then it just kept giving me a Lincoln Town Car manual. So this makes no sense, but it kind of makes sense. I did not do SMCI, but did you do Adderall? Can you hold on, please? Okay, I was in the middle of a joke, trying to get you a joke punchline. I'll get you SMCI. Calm down. I did not do SMCI yet. Hold on. Jeez, bro. Net sales are 4.6 billion versus 568 last quarter. Gross margin was 9.6 versus 11.8. I don't have the estimate because, again, they did a pre-reporting, and then the real kicker is the guidance. They guided fourth quarter 5.6 to 6.4, and I don't think anybody had guidance. And then EPS 30 to 40 cents, adjusted 40 to 50. But then they cut the full year revenue guide. That was lower than expected, and say tariffs may have short-term effect. But, yeah, they had everything else. And then Lucid, loss of 22 cents, or loss of 20 versus loss of 22. Revenue 235 million versus guidance of 232 to 236. And then broad guide, the estimate was actually higher. So the company guided lower, but analysts thought it was a sandbag, and they still missed. Ended quarter with 5.7 billion in liquidity versus 5.7, and then they delivered 2,000 vehicles in April 2nd. Continues to manufacture 20,000 vehicles in 2025. So are you ready for a fun fact? Are you ready? There is more Saturns still on the road today than Lucids in all of America. Did you know that? So you have more registered Saturns, the company that has stopped producing in 2008, than you have registered Lucids. That's literally true. Saturn. I had to explain a Saturn to my girl the other day. We drove by a Saturn, and she's like, what is that? And then there's more India headlines. They're saying a lot of explosions, but Pakistan says no Indian aircraft entered Pakistani airspace. Saturn the car, yeah. I had to explain it to her because she was like, what is that? Saturn. All I don't know. It reminds me of a Saturn, but it wasn't a Saturn. But that Pontiac Aztec, bro. I'm not going to lie. Dude, I think this could be India. Because right now, you're going lower. VIX after the bell. And bonds are going up. And then fucking India, Pakistan is popping off right now. So, yeah, something's happening, you guys. I think that might be it. What time is it? Pakistan Airlines says flights on ground have put on hold. So there you go. Flights between India and Pakistan have now been halted. Yeah, it's conflict. I don't know how long it'll last for. So, but yeah, market, I think it's popping off there. And now it's finally, like, look at India. Finally, this thing's moving. Remember, it wouldn't go down prior. The view. Listen, I mean this genuinely. I fuck with Saturns way harder than any Lucid. Like, if you told me, Josh, I bought a Lucid, I would think you're going through an internal crisis. You know what I'm saying? I would say I would not think you're in the mentally right space. You bought a Saturn, I'd be like, dude, dope. Will you get a good deal on it? Like, I would assume you got a reliable ass good deal if that Saturn's still pushing and you didn't pay a lot. I'd be like, awesome. You bought a Lucid. I mean, what the fuck, sir? Are you okay? Your girlfriend break up with you? Your boyfriend break up with you? What's going on? Oh, yeah. Why are you acting like that? Why you don't need a fucking $150,000 town car? You don't need that. Dude, SPY just dropped $1. That Pakistan stuff is it. Well, there you go. No fucking way. This is all cap, though. It might fade. Because I don't buy it, bro. I'm sorry. You watch the financial world on the brink of collapse, and nobody wanted to buy a treasury bond? And you mean to tell me you gonna buy it on another global conflict? Cap. I'm sorry. Gold makes sense. Swiss franc makes sense. But hold on. Oh, now you want a safe haven. Oh, so if it's really scary, you buy a bond. If you're just making it up, then you... All right, well, on that note, Trump is talking. He might be. I've already spent too much time here. We've gotten into World War V already by the time I read you 5 more earnings. So hopefully I could turn off the screen now and we'll call it a day. I'll see you on the watch list. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. So I hope you had a great day, Chad. Thank you for your time and not getting banned. I hope you are ready for more middle of the week. And Chad, go read the books. Richest Man in Babylon, Proverbs, New Living Translation, and The Strangest Secret in the World. And don't forget why we're here, why we keep going, why that faith, hope, and love ain't ever going out of style. And why, my friends, there's a lot of things we got to figure out. But if we can't ever agree on them, well, that sounds like a waste of time and no movement. Why, baby, why? Finger to the sky, baby. To God be the glory, and through the grace of God alone. Amen. Amen. Woo! Let's go, baby. Oh, dude, I thought this was the creepy pastor dude who has a private jet. You know what I'm saying? New ex-Brazil Campos? Wait, is that the... Oh, I thought the other Campos. The Pimco guy. But other than that, Chad, have a good day. I love you all. God bless America. Veterans, thank you. And I hope y'all show some love to the vets. And let's have a good rest of the week. Finish up, and you will be good. But that, Chad, that's it. I gotta go. Bye. Yeah, hello. Wait. I thought we were leaving. We say hello. Good evening and greetings. I'm so happy to say hello. And I want to sing a song. What's the song? What's the Journey song? Just a small town boy living in a lonely DC. He took a midnight tariff going anywhere. Yeah, sing it, why? Just a city girl in Camelot, the wind to try. He took a mirror in the Amtrak's gray. Strangers walking in the night. I think I tried. I'm better though. I do it better. I like that song. It's a great song. Have a good one. Goodbye. Bye. I'm just a city girl. That's a great song. Everybody sings along when Journey comes on. Why you acting all Hollywood? Everybody likes that song. Exactly. Have a wonderful day. I reclaim my time. Goodbye.